the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
I gotta get a witness.
No! Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
That's true. Sometimes I cry.
Oh!
Lick my butthole, he laughed.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts, the Drunken Peasants.
Hey everybody, welcome. It's Drunken Peasants Podcast. It's episode 967. We're back with Scoot in the house. How's it going? Scott?
Why can't we hear him?
I don't know. I don't have him muted on my end.
It's going fine. Everything's fine. Don't worry about
Why
it.
can't we hear you, Scott?
Because he messed up.
You can hear me fine. You hear me goddamn fine. The problem is on your end, as always.
Not this time. The problem's why we started late were on my end, but not that time, for sure.
Oh, we set a good precedent. Now I can blame all of my foibles on you.
Oh, damn it. Well,
I've seen a lot of people blame all their foibles on a good
we
president.
could blame it on your youth and inexperience, but we all know you're over the hill.
No, I'm a baby.
Everyone, please give the stream a like. Gonna do some quick promos here. First and foremost, we want to promo the new shirts that are available right now. It's the Manateesus shirt. You can become a $50 patron and pick up one of the Manateesus shirts. All you got to do is become a $50 patron at any point during this month, and you can get it. And I think we have some planned maybe for next month, too. Nothing set in stone, but we're looking to make it a monthly thing. So if enough people sign up for it, we'll definitely keep it going. We've kind of thrown some ideas around, but nothing set in stone yet. Also, Brave browser. Everyone who uses the Brave browser, check it out right now. Click the little triangle. You probably have some bats in there. Send them our way. We would really appreciate it. Also, if you're a patron and your pledge hasn't gone through, make sure it goes through before the beginning of next week, before next week's first show, because that's when I'm going to make the ending and beginning credits if you want to be part of that. So check that out. By the way, here's the Manateesus shirt. I was scrambling to...
That's not the right one.
Oh, shit. You're right. That isn't the right one.
It's not even the right one.
It's not the right one. Well...
It's not the right one, guys.
It's basically similar to that. I'm sorry. I had to I had everything ready, but I had to restart the whole fucking computer before we started.
You know who I blame? The media.
Okay.
True. Does, important question, does the shirt come with the black guy?
Yes.
Okay. Then I'm in.
You've been known to come with black guys like Jussie Smollett.
I mean, I don't know if that's the preposition I would use. I don't know if I come with black guys, but I come something black guys.
Smollett?
Jussie Smollett.
His name is Jussie, and he's beautiful.
He's a big, beautiful man who may have been convicted on 5 out of 6 counts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But
and
it was
ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
It was a big day of convictions, though. He wasn't the only one.
I like that he stuck to his convictions in that it wasn't a hoax.
Okay. Maybe he's into that sort of thing.
Could be. Oh, do you have more plugs, Ben, or is the floor open for questions?
Well,
Yeah.
I got the right shirt now. That's the shirt.
Now that's a shirt and a black guy.
See, I knew everything would be just fine.
Jussie, fine.
Yeah, and now feel free. Questions. Go ahead.
Questions. How did I fare in the survival situation?
You did very well. You were
really?
the second highest voted person on your team, and your team,
Pretty good.
Your team, spoiler alert, all were heavily won, no losses. All 4 of you survived.
Clean sweep?
Clean sweep.
Oh, shit, yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Y'all shut down the shit heels. It was easy. Easy.
Fucking right.
Yeah.
Love it.
And no, he doesn't come with the shirt. It's funny because someone commented the last time that we promoted the shirts. They were like, your models look really bored. It's like, it's a guy that took a picture with a blank t-shirt on.
I was going to say, he didn't put the shirt on.
We didn't hire this guy. This guy is like...
Do you guys know how, like, shirt printing works?
Yeah.
We actually did hire this guy. He's one of the Drunken Peasants' #1 fans.
His name is Steamboat, by the way.
His name is Steamboat.
He's
yeah.
Drunken Peasants' one black fan.
No, we have like 7. We said, Steamboat, here's the deal. If you wear our shirt and give us some modeling pics, we will give you free access to DP on demand, the over-the-top DP programming. And he said, fuck you, I'll wear the shirt, but I'm going to look bored as hell. And I said, well, that's not, we don't want to give you on demand then. He said, no, I'm going to be bored as hell wearing your dumbass shirt. We said, look, Steamboat, we respect you. We love you as a fan, but would you please put a smile on your face? And he said, here's your fucking smile, Fridge. Yeah, I know. He's kind of a prick. If somebody wants to buy this shirt, wear this shirt, take a picture of themselves in this shirt, we'll use you.
Smiling.
Problem is, by the time you get this shirt, it won't be available anymore. Because it's only available right now through Patreon at the $50 level. And next month, we'll probably have a whole new shirt.
We probably will. So we want people to get into that. You know, if you're one of those fans that wants to be a patron, that wants a little something extra, something you can actually hold on to, now's the time.
Here you go.
Get into that $50 level.
I will say this, though. Ben loves money. If you sign up next month and we have a whole new shirt, you can probably be like, Ben, can I please get the manatee shirt instead? I missed it last month.
You can
Ben will probably do it.
You can probably request.
It's on the table.
Yeah.
We're not saying you couldn't do that. What we're saying right now is Steamboat is fucking slow rolling us, and he's to look happy wearing this shirt.
Yeah, and the point is basically you can sign up anytime between now and the end of the month. Even if it's the last day of the month, you'll get the shirt the following
New Year's
month.
Eve?
Yes. You know, Dave Chappelle is doing a New Year's Eve show in Seattle, and then the next night he's doing it in Vancouver.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll go. Maybe I'll go to both.
You know, I got bad news.
How about that?
He's canceled.
Oh, shit.
Not the show.
I guess I won't
No,
go.
he is, though. He's canceled.
He is not canceled, by the way. And
I guess
we'll
he's canceled.
We need to get into the latest thing in relation to that, and we'll do it now. It's actually the beginning of a new segment here on the show, and it is entitled Shut Up, Wesley.
Shut up, Wesley?
Shut up, Wesley.
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 Yeah, so
if that was the entire segment and we just went on to something else, I would still be happy. That was delightful.
It is delightful. There's something cathartic about it.
Normally,
It really is.
I would normally simp for Wil Wheaton right now.
You would?
Normally, I love Wil Wheaton. He's one of my.
You do it just because it's contrarian.
No,
too.
it's because
that's why you like John Cena. That's why you like all this other dumb stuff that you
John
like.
John Cena is in a league of his own. He's
John Cena is the biggest coward of 2021.
Yeah.
What?
He simped out to China.
Oh, like everybody
Coward
else,
of the
including
year.
America.
See, now he's gonna deflect and be like,
Coward
everybody
of the
else does it.
Look, if I spent years learning perfect Mandarin, You think I'd just give up on China
You
because they're
wouldn't,
wild?
for one thing.
I might.
No,
if
you
you
wouldn't.
spent years learning perfect Mandarin to simp for China, yeah, I'm
Because
sure
I'll tell you
would,
why.
which is
You
exactly
can't learn
what happened
perfect
here.
Mandarin.
It's disgusting.
You can't learn perfect Mandarin texting on your phone, and you would not be able to not text long enough to win.
I could.
To learn perfect.
You
no,
can,
you couldn't.
You can learn perfect
No, you
Mandarin on
couldn't.
your phone.
You are too easily bored, and you need constant stimulation. You could not.
You would actually need a
concentrate.
second phone to distract you from learning Mandarin on your
Right.
first phone.
Yes.
You just wait until we get a sponsorship from Bumble or
Oh,
Bumble
okay.
or whatever
That's
the thing
that's
is.
what we got to do first.
the,
Okay.
the sponsorship that lets you learn Mandarin
right.
on your phone.
Okay.
And you'll be like,
believe it's
even Billy
pronounced
could learn
Huawei.
Mandarin on his phone.
So Wil Wheaton left Twitter. If you go to Wil Wheaton's Twitter, it's from like 2018, the most recent stuff.
Damn.
He moved over to Facebook. Like
I thought
that's
you were
going to
gonna
make
say
a difference.
Parler.
Facebook is a protected class. Wil Wheaton says, absolutely disgusted. Every single comedian who is on this bill should withdraw unless and until this despicable bigot is uninvited. Any comedian who is part of this should be ashamed of themselves. Netflix may not believe in holding this piece of shit to account, but you all have to live with yourselves and the choices you make to perform with him.
Okay, so what does he mean by holding him to account? Like they've already paid him for this special.
Yeah.
You think they're going to take it down after
they
they've
gonna
paid him for it?
And unpay him? Like, what's your plan here, guys?
Right, like they could choose to never work with him again. They haven't said anything about the future of working with him, and he said that was his last special, right?
Well, but he's
He said his
gonna-
last special for a while.
But
or
this
something.
is because he's going to be headlining the Netflix comedy like live event.
Okay.
So they're hiring him to headline a live event. So they're endorsing him.
Okay, and I didn't know about that, but I still don't really have a problem with it because he is the face of Netflix comedy.
But this is what Wil Wheaton's saying. There's like 130 people on the act. And those 129 people should be disgusted with themselves for not dropping off of the bill when they announced Dave Chappelle was part of the bill.
So he's throwing
Why?
other people under the bus for finding work in comedy when we just went through one of the longest dry spells for comedians and anyone else who performs in a public space.
I'm going through something of a dry spell myself.
Oof.
King Cobra style.
Oof.
Yeah. Wil Wheaton should be thankful that people in entertainment are getting work and shouldn't quit because someone he doesn't like is part of the bill.
Wil Wheaton said,
Nah, the most fun thing to do on the internet is make people lose their jobs. That's like everyone's favorite
Wil
thing.
Wheaton
on
didn't
the
want them to
internet.
lose their jobs.
There's no greater
He
joy.
just said they should be ashamed of themselves and that they all have to live with
He's saying
themselves
they
and the
should,
choices
he's saying
they make.
they should be ashamed of themselves. They should voluntarily step away from this job, and Dave Chappelle should lose his job.
And then,
that's what he's saying.
And then he says, and fuck everyone at Netflix who is part of this. Trans rights
And
or
also
human rights.
everyone at Netflix. Like, if everyone at Netflix lost their job, he'd be happy.
Trans rights and human rights and words matter. Trans rights are human
I agree with
rights.
I agree with
And
half of
words
that.
matter.
You decide which.
Words don't matter. And then he edited and he said, 12 hours later, an important follow-up thought, it's very easy for me to sit in my chair and issue edicts about what other people should do.
Sure is, motherfucker.
That's presumptuous, and it overwhelms a larger point that I made in a comment here, which is also in its own post. I withdraw that outburst, and I regret saying it. Like, I don't know if anyone cares, but I guess I do, and I want to own it. And that's why...
Oh, so we all just wasted our fucking time?
That's why...
No, there's more.
Normally, I would defend Wil Wheaton, but in this episode of Shut Up, Wesley, Wil Wheaton himself edited it to say, "Shut up, Wesley."
To shut up.
Oh God! Edit 2.
Edit 2.
This post has become a trash fire of hateful garbage comments from hateful garbage people who are doing cruel drive by trolling.
Drive by, yeah.
Cruel drive
You
by
want to take
trolling.
another run at that?
Who are doing
Cool drive.
Scott,
by
words
trolling.
matter. Words matter.
He should have
No,
hyphenated
that turns out
drive-by.
that's the part I didn't agree with.
Cruel by doing cruel drive by trolling. So I've restricted comments to friends only. Yeah, Dave Chappelle.
You know what?
set
To be
for-
fair, drive-by should be hyphyphenated. So
Yeah,
that's
what
on
I
him, not
said.
you.
Yeah,
I'll
so
give you
Dave,
that.
I'm not. I didn't practice this script. Okay, I'm reading it in live time.
Look, this is a heavily scripted show. We run through this we run through this for 2 full days, and then we go live. And to not get it perfect is embarrassing. Even this that I'm saying right now is scripted.
You ruined it. Dave Chappelle's set
sorry.
for Netflix is a joke festival after being canceled.
It's actually the Netflix is a joke festival.
Oh.
Not Netflix is a joke festival.
Yeah.
Oh, we already saw.
Drive by trolling.
Oh, and then this is his next post.
Don't use the internet.
He tells this personal story that is of him saying the N-word, which is
Are
so
you serious?
Yes.
For anyone who genuinely
Okay,
doesn't,
you know what? I'm back in.
For anyone who genuinely doesn't understand why I feel as strongly as I do about people like Chappelle making transphobic comments that are passed off as jokes, I want to share a story. What I hope will help you understand and contextualize my reaction to his behavior. So as I'm reading this,
I don't think it was transphobic, by the way. I don't agree with that. And
I also don't agree.
Yeah.
And I think even if it was transphobic, we should have used this time to educate people why it was transphobic and not a pointing finger your evil way, but in a, hey, this is how you could be better accommodating to the trans community now that you're listening, because Dave Chappelle did get your attention. But instead we kind of want to whinge and cry and freak out about what most people are seeing as jokes because they're not as educated and enlightened on the plight of transsexuals in the world. Transgenders. I don't know the difference.
No, we're going back to sexual.
I don't know the difference. I don't. Is transgender and transsexual two different things?
Yes.
Well, fuck me. I'm learning. So I want to share a story
Nobody
that I
really
hope
says transsexual anymore. We lost that one.
I don't know.
Okay.
Sad.
You know, last time I thought about transsexuals,
This
I
morning.
don't want to know.
as we're talking about them right now, it's on my mind heavily. I want to share a story that I hope will help you understand and contextualize my reaction to his behavior. When I was 16, I played ice hockey almost every night at a local rink. I was a goalie, and they always needed goalies. So I could show up, put on my gear, and just wait for some team to call me under the ice.
So he was such a shit hockey player, but everyone needed a goalie, so he would just sit there. I don't know.
He was a goal. He never said he was a shit
And
hockey
he was
player.
fat.
I'm
He
saying
just
he's
said-
a shit hockey player.
Wow.
He probably he definitely wasn't fat. We all know this guy's been a famous actor. I mean, not so much these days, but as a kid, he started like before he was 10 years old.
He played himself.
He was
on
in
one
the-
of the greatest sitcoms.
He was in The Outsiders.
of the 2010s. Was he in The Outsiders?
I think so. I think he was in the Outsiders movie.
Yeah, it was Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and Wil Wheaton, The Outsiders.
I thought that's what he was in, or maybe it was Stand By Me.
Well, yeah, he was definitely in
Okay,
Stand By
that's
Me.
what I meant. That's what I
it
meant.
was
I think
Stand By Me.
Outsiders was a little early.
Yeah, I think so.
So I could show up, put on my gear, and just wait for some team to call me under the ice. It was a lot of fun. One night, I played a couple hours of pickup with some really great dudes. They were friendly. They were funny. They enjoyed the game. They treated me like I was part of their team. They welcomed me. After we finished, we're all in the locker room getting changed into our regular clothes. Before I tell you what happened next, I want to talk specifically about comedy and how much I loved it when I was growing up. I listened to records and watched comedy specials whenever I could. One of the definitive comedy specials for me and my friends was Eddie Murphy's Delirious from 1983. It had bits that still kill me. The ice cream song, Aunt Bunny falling down, the stairs, throwing the shoe. Really funny stuff. Really funny stuff. All right, Wil Wheaton.
Eddie Murphy got caught with trans prostitutes back in the day.
And that's the type of progression
Sure did.
we need.
He was
from,
just giving her a ride home, Ben.
that's the type of
God.
that's the type of ally we need in black comedy, not
Exactly.
Dave
We
Chappelle.
need more famous actors driving trans hookers home.
Yes, that's
He was driving something.
if you're not getting a blowjob from a trans, you're not funny.
Fact. Damn, that means I'm hilarious.
So next screen cap here.
Next slide.
I'll zoom in because this is a little.
There's also extensive homophobic material that is just fucking appalling and inexcusable. Long stretches.
But pretty funny.
He's very funny. Long and it's inexcusable. I think it's fairly excusable for the time. I don't know if you guys realize this, but in the 90s, homophobia was like lit, fam. It was all over the.
It was especially in 1983 when Delirious came out.
Well, in the 90s, there was. I mean, do we all remember the end of Ace Ventura?
Yeah.
Laces out, Dan.
Like when it was discovered that the one woman had cock and balls.
The crux of the entire movie was a trans joke.
Yeah, literally.
And now it's transphobic to puke when you realize you made out with a trans person.
They all puke too.
They all puke.
And then they play the crying game music.
That's the excusable part. And in its time, people were more cruel. And when you go back, people become less cruel by learning about other people's feelings they never considered before. And that's the excuse there, is that people were different. The society was different. You can't just say it's inexcusable when it's like, well, it was kind of the norm. It was an unfortunate norm that time had to soften the edges on, but that's how history works.
Yeah, like nobody was mad at him then. They'd be mad if he did it now because times and social norms change, which is good. But like you're not looking at things in the context of the time it was made.
I'm surprised Eminem hasn't been ridiculously canceled for his albums. Like
he made good on it back then.
Gets a pass.
He gets a super pass because he's like, oh, by the way, yeah, I called everybody gay stuffs, but I also sung with Elton John.
Well, that was his atonement for it.
It's like, okay, if I let Elton John blow me, can I just talk trash to the entire Queer Eye for the Straight Guy crew?
They had an SNL skit around the time that happened where Elton John and Eminem performed with each other. And in real life, when they did that, they hugged each other at the end. But in the SNL version, they start making out live on stage with each other. So...
Long stretches of this comedy film are devoted to mocking gay people using the slur that starts with F over and over and over. A lot of people use that. A lot of people used that back then. I guess it's not an excuse. It's just saying this was like a normal thing back then. It was unfortunately the times. Young Will, who watched this with his suburban white upper middle class friends in his privileged bubble, thought it was the funniest, edgiest, dirtiest thing he'd ever heard. It killed him. And now we want him back. Bring back edgy baby Will. And all of it was dehumanizing to gay men. All of it was cruel. All of it was bigoted. All of it was punching down. I hate punching down. Stop punching. If you don't want punching down, then stop punching. Because you don't realize where up or down is when you're in a fucking fist fight. And if you're choosing to be in a fist fight where you can choose what direction you're swinging, then you're a fucking asshole.
Sometimes you're going to punch down.
You're an asshole.
Get over it.
You should never have to punch. People who get this big hard dick from punching up or whatever direction they're punching, you're only doing so because you have deep-seated issues that need to be worked out without violence. You sicken me.
Nah, sometimes you just think it's funny.
I like punching, but I'm not going to say don't punch down. I'm going to say punch wherever the fuck.
I'm not either.
Punch wherever the fuck you can, and I dare you to take a punch to the head. Get socked. I didn't know any better. I accepted the framing. I developed a view of gay men as predatory. Somehow less than straight men. Absolutely worthy of mockery and contempt.
I think that's just a problem with
what was that about gay men being predatory? I zoned out for a second.
Well, and I think that's a problem with Wil Wheaton because I grew up with the same comedy and never thought that way.
Or maybe because he grew up in Hollywood and they're like, don't go next to that gay man because he is predatory.
To be fair, he was a child actor and he was either raped or it came up.
He probably wasn't, but people probably told him, you stay away from that guy. Why? Well...
And they were right to tell him, have you seen
Hollywood? He was in syndicated television. It's a little different.
It's not that different. He was in movies. He was in Hollywood.
Yeah.
He was in Stand By Me. He was in tons of stuff. He was a Hollywood kid.
Literally every kid on Nickelodeon has been raped. It doesn't have to be movies.
It's unfortunately...
Not Melissa Joan Hart.
especially Melissa Joan Hart.
All right, can we read on, please?
Ferguson W. Darling. I developed a view of gay men as predatory, somehow less than straight men, absolutely worthy of mockery and contempt. Always good for a joke, though. Let me put this another way. A comedian who I thought was one of the funniest people on the planet totally normalized making a mockery of gay people. And because I was a privileged white kid raised by privileged white parents, there was nobody around me to challenge that perception. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about poor black kids. They don't have anybody around them to tell them not to make fun of gay people either. It's just the way people act sometimes. So don't put this on being fucking white and privileged. There's all types of people in this fucking world who don't have a good person to tell them, hey, don't pick on gay people. Don't pick on gay people. For much of my teen years, I was embarrassingly homophobic, and it all started with that comedy special. It all started with that comedy special.
That's what I'm saying. I have been saying this.
Yeah,
you guys are making all these assumptions. He hasn't said any of this other stuff. He's saying it literally comes from him watching comedy, the same comedy I grew up with.
Watching Eddie Murphy made you homophobic?
Yes.
That's a kind of a stretch.
And I'm saying growing up in America made you homophobic. Growing up in the 80s in America made you homophobic. It wasn't Eddie fucking Murphy. Putting this on Eddie Murphy is stupid. You were homophobic. Well, yeah.
It's funny how he always seems to hate on black comedians. I think
Whoa,
Wil Wheaton's
whoa,
got a
I was
problem.
gonna say, I'm like,
whoa.
Also, second question: is Eddie Murphy in the 80s? Is a black guy in the 80s saying the F slur? Is that even punching down? That's like a sideways punch. That's a lateral pass.
I want to know how Wil Wheaton treated LeVar Burton at this point.
Let's go back to that locker room. So I'm talking with these guys, and we're all just laughing and having a good time. We're doing that sports thing where you talk about the great plays and feel like you're part of something special. And then without even realizing what I was doing, that awful word come out of my mouth. Blah, blah, blah. Fat shit, I said.
Fat shit.
I think that's fat shit, right?
Yeah, I think that's what he
I've
said.
had a few people call me fat shit
took a
before.
fat shit.
Fat shit.
They call me fat shit
The F
before.
slur. Fat shit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what he's talking about. The room fell silent, and that's when I realized every single guy in this room was gay. They were from a team called the Blades, and had just and I had just really fucked up.
This story's a lie.
Well, no,
this isn't true. He's making the story up to make a point. There is no gay hockey team on the earth. I refuse. No.
Okay, for one, there are tons of gay hockey teams on this earth. What's Vancouver's hockey team?
Okay. The Washington Capitals are gay. We can agree about that. No, the Canucks are dead butch.
So one of them asks gently, "Do you have any gay friends?" And Wil Wheaton, was there more to this? Or the next one?
Yeah, there's more.
Yes, I said defensively. Then I lied. They say that all the time. I was so embarrassed and horrified, I realized I'd basically said the N-word.
Okay, so he didn't even actually say the N-word. He said the F word.
In context.
He said the gay N-word.
He said the gay word.
N-word.
He said the gay word. In context, and didn't know what to do. I wanted to disappear. I wanted to apologize. I wanted to beg forgiveness. But I was a stupid 16-year-old with pride and ignorance and fear all over myself. So I lied to try to get out of it. Yeah, you were a fucking kid. You were a dumb kid. I love how you're looking back at the world right now through the eyes of a dumb kid who's holding on to his regret from 25 years ago, however long ago this was, Wil Wheaton. I don't know how old you are.
And using that to justify Dave Chappelle losing his job for a special that you probably didn't even watch.
Yeah. Which you should have watched, because if you liked Eddie Murphy Delirious, you'd realize this isn't as good.
Oh, he's almost 50. He's almost 50 years old.
Okay, so 35 years ago?
Yeah.
They must not love themselves very much, he said with quiet disappointment. Damn! Dunked on by the queer!
Got him.
Nobody said another word to me. I felt terrible. I shoved my gear into my bag and left as quickly as I could. That happened over 30 years ago, and I think about it all the time. I'm mortified. So So are you virtuously acting out because of your own self-guilt that you haven't been able to let go of in 30 years?
Oh, the thing that fucking every virtue signaler on the internet does, that they were definitely not necessarily saying the F slur to an entire gay hockey team in the mid 80s, but literally everyone who like used the N-word very very liberally, odd use of the term,
conservatively,
but in 2013 and are now completely overcompensating for it, the same thing that all of them do.
Yeah. And so right here, right now, but I still said it, and I said it because I believe these men who were so cool and kind, and just like all the other men I played with, I was always the youngest player on the ice, were somehow less than, I guess, everyone, because that had been normalized for me by culture and comedy. Yes, and now you think people with opinions that don't align directly with your trans friends are less than. Fuck, where are we at now? Where are we at 30 years later, and you're still looking at people as less than just because they don't have the same exact opinion as you, because your opinion's so fucking woke? Wil Wheaton, I love you. I adore you. I love how you hang out at PAX and you sign autographs for people.
Man, you talk really well when you have a man's testicles in your mouth.
Yes, I do. And
why do you love and adore him? Like what? He's a kid actor.
No, not at all.
Who got put on Star Trek. People didn't like him, and the way he dealt with it was by making being a geek from being on Star Trek his entire identity for the rest of his life, and now he's trapped in this prison.
If you guys,
what's to adore about that?
If you guys want to answer for me, I'll let you. You both seem to have these crazy opinions on why I like
already
Wil
gave the
Wheaton.
answer.
Yeah, it's stupid. Makes you look ignorant. Not like my super intelligent friend Wil Wheaton, who signs autographs for free at conventions when everybody else charges $25.
No one wants to pay for him. He's Wil Wheaton.
He's a sweet boy.
Yeah, he's the wrestling superstar Virgil of conventions.
They filmed one last Star Trek movie with the Next Generation cast. They had Wil Wheaton come in to film like a 30-second scene, and it got cut. Which, by the way, I was going to play part of that in tonight's post show, which is immediately following this episode. You can either get in if you're a $10 patron, or if you are a member of the channel by clicking the join button below the video. You can also do it that way. We're gonna watch that and a bunch of other stuff. I have a whole bunch of content for the post show.
Anyways. Your guys' hatred of Wil Wheaton has nothing to do with my adoration.
I love
for
your
him.
shtick.
It's not a shtick.
I don't hate him. I have zero opinion on him. I just don't. He seems like an odd person to adore.
I think
because he knows people don't like Wil Wheaton, so it's
that's
part
not
of his
why.
Dude, come on.
It's not. I've seen Wil Wheaton at PAX a ton of times. He was a nice guy. I like that about him. There's
lots of nice guys out there.
He's a fucking gamer nerd, and I appreciate that in him.
Okay.
I think he's a performative gamer.
Yeah,
nerd. I think he's a Chris Hardwick type. Like it's the I'm a geek gimmick.
For one, Chris Hardwick and I are best friends. We used to go family style on Me Too victims, so back off.
You know what? I apologize. I didn't like Chris Hardwick until that. Now I'm kind of on board.
Actually, we saw the one woman that got Chris Hardwick in trouble at PAX the one year, and I was like, Billy, go talk to her. And he's like, no.
Was she yelling?
No, she was just standing around. But I was like, I don't want to get
Zoe Dykstra. That's her name, Zoe Dykstra.
I was like, I don't want to get canceled by proxy. I'm cool. And this was before it came out that what she said was kind of fabricated, right? Isn't that what happened?
I think it might have been. I don't remember.
I don't remember. All I know is that she had
but
the
it
power.
was like she nailed it kind of during that perfect Me Too sweet spot where like being kind of a shitty boyfriend was equivalent to like premeditated rape.
Yeah.
And like there was no distinction between the two. Like a girl has a bad date with Aziz Ansari and now he's a rapist. Like it was right in that time. So I don't know how severe it was with Hardwick specifically, but it seemed kind of like one of those.
Billy wants a spin-off of Big Bang Theory starring Wil Wheaton.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do Big Bang.
He should have just played young Sheldon.
Wil Wheaton as young Sheldon. Man, wouldn't that be great if young Sheldon got hired on to play Wesley Crusher in the fucking
oh my God.
reboot of
Full Circle
Next Generation?
That'll never
I
happen.
don't know. Ian Armitage is in pretty high demand, so I don't know if he'll be available. That's right. I know the name of young Sheldon for some reason.
He could play Wil Wheaton. I think that would be pretty cute. So a huge part of that normalization was through entertainment that dehumanized gay men in the service of jokes. And as someone who thought jokes were great, I accepted it. I mean, nobody was making fun of me that way, and I was the main character. So you were the main character? Everybody was talking shit about you. Where were you, Wil Wheaton, when everybody was talking shit about you? I was the main character. I hate this. You're not the main character. You're a white male. You're not the main character. Motherfucker, we're all the main characters in our own life. And when
you seen movies? White males are the main characters.
He was literally the Mary Sue character that Gene Roddenberry kind of forced into the TNG.
Good. Gene
storyline.
Roddenberry was the fucking man behind it. Good for him.
Well, he created Star Trek.
I know the T is the, and the G is generation, but I always forget what the N is.
Next.
Which one's? Oh,
it's the next generation.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of something else.
I doubt very much that any of those men would be reading this today, but if so, I am so sorry. I deeply, profoundly, totally regret this.
Okay.
I've spent literally my entire life since this happened making amends and doing my best to be the strongest ally I can be. I want to do everything I can to prevent another kid from believing the same bigotry I believed because I was ignorant and privileged. Well,
Benjamin, a question from the floor. And I'm not saying anything. I'm asking a question. The question is, am I allowed to tell someone to kill themselves?
No.
Then no. Carry on.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is unfortunate, Wil Wheaton, because the majority of people that are going to back you up on this already think the way you do. You're stuck in a circle of same think right now. You're not helping other kids humanize anybody here.
That's where he wants to be, though. That's why he left Twitter. There was too much of other think for him to contend with.
He left Twitter because...
And apparently the ability to edit and have a character limit, you know...
I was going to say, the old not editing thing was not conducive to Will's style of internet discourse.
Yeah. If you really...
12 hours later, edit! Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
If you really wanted to do everything you could to prevent another kid from believing the same bigotry that you believed because you were ignorant and privileged, would be to watch the Dave Chappelle special and write this big, long fucking thing, not about the moment that you used the F word in front of some gay dudes, but write it about the moments in Dave Chappelle's
that
special.
Entire gay hockey team that definitely existed.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. He should be like, at 5 minutes and 35 seconds, he says this.
Yeah.
And this is why I don't like it.
And this is what's wrong with this. This is what's wrong. And you know what? If somebody disagrees with you, they can be like, well, I disagree with you, but then they have to say why they disagree with you. Or else they have to be like, no, it's all dumb think instead of hate think. You're dumb. You're dumb for being in your feelings. This is the problem I have with the idea that there are people out there dying because of jokes. I don't know how much of that is hyperbolic.
It is very hyperbolic.
I don't know how much.
Not because of jokes. No, like jokes and outright bigotry are very different.
Yeah, I want to know like who's getting killed over the jokes. Spell it out for me because I want to see. But all I see is people saying these jokes are killing people without any trail. And I think a lot of the people that
it's
are
because they're not.
Well, I mean, that's the problem here. I'm open to look at the evidence. I want to see.
There is no evidence.
I want to see.
But it's
it.
going to be tough to
find
send you any
actual
because
evidence.
there isn't any.
Yeah,
you
you're
can't
not gonna
send an absence of something.
Right. Someone's not going to be like, "Oh, I attacked this trans person because I watched Dave Chappelle's special." Like you're.
Oh well, I did that. We're not counting that, are we? Come on.
I don't think you're going to find any instances of people admitting that.
Other than Scott.
So there's no data that you're going to be able to look at that says whether or not this contributed to it.
And I don't even I don't even need the data. I will take Wil Wheaton's story. If there's someone out there who is Wil Wheaton right now playing hockey with trans people, and you go back to the locker room, and when they take off their fucking what's the thing that holds your Twiggenberries? What's not the puck? It's the garter.
Ice skates.
No,
I think you're looking for
the cup.
The cup, yeah.
The jock strap.
Yeah. If I'm the little angry transphobic kid that likes Dave Chappelle now, and I go to play hockey, and I'm going back to the room with my hockey buddies, and they take their jock straps off, and there's like a beautiful pink puss. I'm like, oh God,
beautiful.
I didn't realize you guys were trans. I watched the Dave Chappelle comedy special, and now let me see that kid today that is being evil because of Dave Chappelle, and then I'll be a little more interested. Give me like your story even to show where the hurt came from.
Did you get through this? There's
No.
2 more. There's 2 more.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Jesus. One thing I had was like on that middle paragraph that the huge part of the normalization was through entertainment that dehumanized gay men in the service of jokes. Are you not able to discern comedy from like actual rhetoric and like form your own opinions? Like how affected are you by just comedy? That like unless if you're older than like 10, you should be able to form your own opinions.
What if you're 16?
And not have.
I remember being a kid.
If you're sick, yeah. I'm picturing myself 16. I would not be swayed to homophobia by a comedy special.
I would have.
I remember as a kid.
Well, sure, but you're very
Pollock
impressionable and
jokes.
have you still had a soft spot on your head when you were 16.
True.
There were Polak jokes I used to hear all the time as
Yeah.
a kid. I'm not from Poland, but I had family members that were, and I was never really offended by it because I knew that they were just hyperbolic, stupid jokes.
You have to
based
hope
on
that,
stereotypes.
Yeah. I remember watching Eddie Murphy's Raw
But they
and
do put
Delirious.
screen doors on their sub.
When I was 16, that's when I started watching Delirious and Raw, and I didn't go around being homophobic to people. I went around catching people with their mouths open and farting into them. That's what I took away from Eddie Murphy.
What?
But also, to be fair, you were in blackface because you wanted to be just like Eddie Murphy. And then you picked up a trans
It was
hooker.
Juggalo face paint and the white smudged.
I forgot the what. Guys, I'm a juggalo. I just forgot the white. Billy, I think you might have just solved blackface. I swear to God. I think you might have stumbled onto something fucking brilliant.
I literally got in trouble in high school because I went to school. It was Halloween. I went to school as a juggalo, and my face paint got smudged, and I let this girl from Australia redo it for me, and she just covered my whole face in black. I had no idea. I left the class. I'm walking down the hallway, and the fucking the security guards were like, "Barry, what the hell are you? Get in the office right now!"
They're like, best Halloween ever.
And I'm like, what? And they're like, "What the hell are you thinking?" I was like, I'm a juggalo. And they're like, "You got blackface on."
And they're like, "What is a juggalo?"
They're like, "We got you in here because you're gonna get your ass kicked walking around out there like that." And this is back when I was 16, so I was ahead of the game on blackface. I didn't do it on purpose.
That's a quote that's going to go into the archives.
Yeah.
I was ahead of the game on
Yeah, because
blackface.
even then they knew it wasn't right. Even then they knew it wasn't. I knew it wasn't right, but
sure.
they knew too. They're like, "This ain't right. We're gonna let this
You're doing
happen."
a Wil Wheaton edit on your statement?
What do you mean? It's not an edit.
He really is your hero.
Damn.
It's not an
Anyway.
edit.
Accidental blackface. Sad.
Yeah, well, I think the Australian girl didn't realize the American connotations. So
Well, they do it all the time. They call it. How offensive is the shortening of the word Aboriginal? Because I think it's quite offensive in Australia. So I'm not going to say it.
They call them.
But I kind of want to say it.
They call it
anyway.
They refer to them
doing
as a
that
stomach
face is very
muscle.
common.
They refer to them as stomach muscles.
Yes.
They're a little different type of races in Australia. So there was like a lost in translation there.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Like Chris Lilly was doing it well into the 2000s, and and pretty well too. Honestly,
Did
Great
it very
show.
well, very well. So I doubt very much that any of these men would be reading this today. But if so, I'm sorry. I'm deeply, profoundly, totally
because
regret
they're
this.
fictional.
And I want everything I can do to prevent another kid from believing the same bigotry I believe because I was ignorant and privileged. So this stuff that Chappelle did, that all these cis white men, this stuff that Chappelle did, he called out the way he felt that certain people in that community were using their privilege to attack his privilege. That's what Chappelle did.
And actually, certain people in that community were so cruel to another person in their own community that was friends with Dave Chappelle that person killed themselves.
Yeah, it's all cute. To deal to cis, okay, because it's not a big deal. Okay, that all these cishet white men, I can't even pronounce this shit, are so keen to defend. I believe them when they say it's not a big deal, because it's not a big deal to cis-het white dudes.
I've never heard of that term before. Now I know what it means, like cis heterosexual white dudes.
Wait, man, we live in very different worlds, because someone yells that at me probably every day.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I remember cis was used to, that's if someone's born their own gender, right?
Cis is non-trans. It's the opposite of trans.
Yeah. And I remember a gay guy complaining about being called cis because he was like, I was called sissy when I was a kid, and now they're calling me cis again. That's not right. He's like, I'm gay. That's not right to call me.
I heard that.
Yeah.
I was at a bar.
No, you're so gay that we're calling you
I heard that
cis
from
for
you.
sister.
Yes, you heard that from me.
Yeah.
I was at the what is it? 5 Points.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember that story because I was there.
Because it's not a big deal to cis-het white dudes. So what we have to do is we have to make it a big deal to cis-het white dudes. And you know how to do that? By enlightening them and not shaming them. This idea that shaming people
re-education camps.
The idea that shaming people into change, it's stupid. You're dumb as hell.
Who's ever been successfully shamed into change? It doesn't work.
Most Catholics? Actually, no, they've been shamed into staying the same.
They've been, yeah.
What are you
they
talking
get shamed into not changing.
And I can't change, even if I tried. But for a transgender person, those jokes normalize hateful, ignorant, bigoted behavior towards them. Those jokes contribute to a world where transgender people are constantly under threat of violence because transgender people have been safely, acceptably dehumanized. Is it not dehumanizing to refer to certain groups of men as cis-het white males? Is that not dehumanizing as well?
It hurts me.
I mean, it's whether it hurts you or not, you're dehumanizing them. They're still humans. They don't understand the struggles transgender people go to because they've never had to. They have their own fucking struggles they have to worry about.
And I hate the word normalize because people will say just because something happens at all, or that people joke about it, that it's therefore
if
normalized.
a bad thing happens once, it's been normalized.
It's normalized when most people agree that attacking anyone, regardless of who they are or what they're like,
is perhaps bad.
Yes.
Is possibly inappropriate. And the disingenuous argument that it's actually racist to hold Chappelle accountable for this, get the fuck out of here. It's not racist to hold Dave Chappelle accountable for this. It is terribly stupid to hold him accountable for this without pointing out the exact moments where he went wrong, because that entire special, there's parts that you could pick apart and say are transphobic or whatever, but the entire thing is telling a message, and he has to get there from his point of view to where he literally admits to having his eye opened up to the plight of transsexual people, transgender people. I don't know the fucking word, nor do I really care to get it right. I'm going to try, not for me, not even for the transgender people, but for the fucking...
Especially not for them.
But for the dickheads that complain when you say something wrong. If I have things I care deeply about, and I say them wrong often, and I care deeply about them, that's how my brain works. You're going to fucking beat up my little tiny brain for mispronouncing something? Okay.
Leave his brain alone.
Ableist.
Guys. Leave his brain alone.
Ableist.
A little ableist on your part for beating up on his his little tiny brain.
My little tiny brain. You're picking on my little tiny brain. Ableist.
Uno gender.
You no gender?
No, uno means one.
Oh, I thought you said no
Uno.
gender.
I said uno gender.
I love dark humor. I love smart, clever jokes that make us think, that challenge authority, that make powerful people uncomfortable. I don't need a lecture from some dude in wraparound sunglasses and get her done tank top about how I don't understand comedy. I need to stick to acting. Well, thank you for dehumanizing the get her done tank top people. I don't need a First Amendment lecture from someone who doesn't understand the concept of consequences for exercising speech the government can legally prohibit. Yes, the government.
This is not one of them.
Is he kind of implying that their government should legally prohibit Dave Chappelle specials?
He is. Now, the government prohibits calls to violence, not comedy.
Yeah.
So it's not the same. It's an apple and orange comparison.
I will say that he might not need a First Amendment lecture, but he sure as fucking get a Second Amendment lecture.
Oh.
Which one's the Second Amendment?
That's where
the right to bear arms.
Oh no, that's
where
the wrong
the
one.
military isn't allowed to sleep in your house.
That's the wrong one. Which is the amendment where you have the right not to speak about something?
Oh,
that's the fifth.
Women can vote.
Oh God, the Fifth Amendment was what I meant. What a buffoon I am. Yeah, he needs a Fifth Amendment lecture. Literally every defense of Chappelle's jokes centers white cishet men and our experience at the expense of people who have to fight with every breath simply to exist in this world. What was that? Okay, literally every defense of Chappelle's jokes centers white cishet men and our experience at the expense.
No.
So why is Dave Chappelle talking for us white cishet men? You're a comedian.
Dave Chappelle made fun of white people for the majority of his career.
Well, literally, the biggest transphobic moments in this is him saying white people who he's been battling this entire time have now decided that by changing their genders from their birth assignment, they can now go back to treating him the way these cis white men were treating him before. That's the crux of like one of his most transphobic jokes. But
which is actually like a kind of funny and interesting observation.
Of course it is kind of funny and interesting observation. That's what this entire special was. It was kind of funny and interesting observations. It wasn't a master class in comedy. Dave Chappelle's done that multiple times before. He's using his skills to tell stories that might even enlighten some people to the plight of the trans. You might learn something. If you're looking at this from somebody who is a cishet male that doesn't think a lot about trans, you just spend an hour thinking of trans and humanizing a trans person. I'd say that's pretty progressive. He might be doing more for the trans community, Dave Chappelle, than Wil Wheaton is. I don't know.
I think Dave Chappelle should go to jail.
Yes. 93% of people in jail are men, so that's his place. He belongs in jail.
Okay.
And 107% of people in jail are black, so it works out.
Men are privileged. So literally every defense of Dave Chappelle's jokes centers white cishet men in our experience at the expense of people who have to fight with every breath simply to exist in this world. They have to fight with every breath simply to exist in this world. There was two parts to this that I had to stop and break apart. The first one being that Dave Chappelle's jokes center white cishet men. Okay, that's weird as fuck. But then to say, to fight with every breath simply to exist in this world? Is that what trans people are doing?
I don't think so. I think
apparently
now. I mean, now I would say now they're protected more than ever before.
Are they fighting with every breath simply to exist in this world? Because if they are, I want to know. That sounds a lot like most people right now, because we're all fighting with every fucking breath simply to exist in a world that is pricing us out of bacon, gasoline, housing, everything that we've been accepted as a normal functioning caveat to being in our society, we can barely afford. Like we're all living check to check, breath to breath right now. So if it's different than everybody else, let me know. I don't know how many people you guys know that aren't struggling to survive, but there's a lot of fucking struggling right now. It's hard for people on one side who are struggling to make it to worry about another side they don't even think of. So let's find out what we can do to help these people. Take a breath. Just take a breath. Literally every queer person I know, and I know a lot, is hurt by Chappelle's actions. See, I know a lot too, and they're not all hurt.
Well, yeah, that's interesting wording. Like, is he saying everyone he's talked to has told him they're hurt by it, or is he just assuming they're all hurt?
It's an anecdotal argument that doesn't matter at all. He could be lying.
I don't think a single one told him they were hurt. I don't think a single one who actually watched the special told Wil Wheaton they were hurt by it.
He doesn't know a significant portion of trans people anyway. So
he knows a lot, all capitals, Ben. All capitals.
You know, I don't think that the gay people he played hockey with were even hurt by what he said. I think they were just kind of like thought less of him for being an offensive little kid.
I don't think they exist.
I don't think the gay people he played hockey with were fucking real.
Yeah.
Or what if they weren't gay, but they were just messing with him because they thought it'd be funny to razz the 16-year-old kid?
Now, I do like the idea of an entire hockey team pretending to be gay. That is a bit I can get behind.
I would do that all the time when I played hockey. We'd invite the 16-year-old kid in, and we'd gay around for a while, and then he'd say something gay, and we'd say, "What are you, homophobic?" And then we'd whip him in the butt naked
and then
with
he'd
towels.
No, and then you'd make him kiss him, him kiss to prove
if you're not homophobic, then kiss my butt, little kid. Wait, shit. Literally every person I know, and I know a lot, is hurt by Chappelle's actions. That sucks. That sucks. Are people hurt by his actions because his actions are so terrible, or because they're looking for victimization? They're looking to be hurt. They're looking for someone to throw rocks at in retaliation for them hurting them. Like, I don't see this being that hurtful, and that's my problem as a cishet white male. Because I saw some people that were hurt from Dave Chappelle's jokes, and it was Dick Masterson and Big Fat Shit Vito. They got hurt by Dave Chappelle's jokes, and they were defending them. That sucks.
Well, one of them was carrying a weapon, so
well, yeah,
they were asking for
a weapon forged by the hands of the guy that ruined Frasier.
It's still the funniest thing. A guy is holding a sign. You rip the sign off the wood and then point at the guy holding it and say, "He's got a weapon." It's the funniest thing I've seen in 2021. I love it.
It was very funny.
I think about it every day.
It was very funny. When literally every person, queer person I know, says it's hurtful to me, I'm going to listen to them and support them and not tell them why they are wrong, as so many cis het white men do. Yeah, guys, stop questioning things, you white pussies. Every time you question something, you're allowing another marginalized group to die off. No more questioning anything. Blindly follow. Fuck it. Let's go. And tell me why they're wrong. So many cishet white men do. If you're inclined to disregard queer voices, especially as they relate to this specific topic, I encourage you to reflect on your choices and think about who you listen to and why. I've watched a lot of queer voices talk about this Dave Chappelle special because I want to know. I want to know what makes gay people laugh. Because
I want to know what love is.
I want to know what love is. I watched Cat Black talk about it, and I watched some other stuff, and just to see different opinions on everything. Cat Black watched the entire special and laughed at a whole lot, and thought a lot of it was funny, and then pointed out moments where Cat Black thought that it was, offensive and possibly dangerous. And I'm like, okay, I appreciate you spelling that out for me. I really wanted to know.
Sounds reasonable.
It was very reasonable. I really want to know. Wil Wheaton says, too many of my fellow cishet white men are reducing this to some abstract intellectual exercise, which once again centers our experience at the expense of people who are genuinely threatened by the normalization of their less than or outsider status. 30 years ago, I centered myself and was appallingly hurtful as a result. I was 16. I didn't know any better. I still regret it.
Maybe don't repeat slurs you heard a black guy say. How about that?
It's hard, though, when you're at a concert. Frankly, a whole lot of y'all who I've already blocked should feel the same shame about what you said today that I feel for something I did 3 decades ago when I was 16 and didn't know any better. I didn't know any better. Well, what if these guys are 16 and don't know any better, Will? I hate the idea of using shame to garner any sort of progress.
People love doing it.
It's disgusting. It
doesn't work, but they love doing it.
It works sometimes. You can shame somebody into doing something. It's.
You can shame someone into silence. You can't shame someone into changing, I don't think.
There's a whole lot of those gay conversion camps where people get shamed into.
Oh, those are good. Those work.
Oh, those work. Cool. How many have you been to, Scott?
7 or 8, but
hey,
number
he's
9
straight now, right?
For now. But you don't, and that is why people like me need to keep using our voices to speak up and speak out. Well, I think you should use your voice a little better than this, because 9 pages in, I don't even know what part of Dave Chappelle's comedy you think is so bad. I just know
he didn't mention anything about it.
Clip of.
He just told his own personal anecdotal story and then said every trans person he's ever met has told him that they were hurt by it.
No, not trans, gay. Every queer person.
Oh.
Every queer person.
Well, why would they? Okay, I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense.
Because maybe they want to be hurt. They want to have somebody who's the villain in
Not
the story,
they're
not to make them look like heroes.
Look what they're wearing.
No, if you are fighting for prominence and dominance in a world where you are a minority, you garner the most support by convincing other people outside of your group that you're being hurt, that you're being attacked, that you need to fight to survive, and if they don't fight with you, you might be wiped off this planet. And that's what it seems like to me. Is there's some fear mongering going on here.
I mean, they're not going to be wiped off the planet.
Of course not. But that's what they act like.
They're not like a species or something. Attitude. I mean, it's...
Well, I mean, it's very easy to wipe them off the planet if you...
How?
Find them and wipe them.
Wouldn't a new one be born the very next day?
And how they don't...
I heard a sucker's born every minute.
And then they'd have to go back in. Then they have to go back into the closet and hide from the world around them.
This isn't happening.
Well, that's what they're saying will happen.
Who's they?
The people who say Dave Chappelle's comedy is keeping them from living there, from being able to breathe. To breathe.
They're
to literally breathe. They can't even breathe.
They're wrong. And Wesley needs to shut the fuck up.
No, he's sweet.
Shut up, Wesley.
Wesley?
Shut up, Wesley.
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 Wesley likes to sniff his own farts, and that's why he wrote this shit. He doesn't really care. He cares about looking cool. This is performative wokeness, in my opinion.
I like Wil Wheaton.
Okay, cool.
100%. And I sure would like to fuck that Dr. Crusher.
She used to be a Muppeteer at one point, too. She worked for Jim Henson.
A Muppeteer? I thought you were going to say she used to be a Muppet. I'm like, damn, well, she looks great after the surgery.
She missed Piggy.
She used to work for Jim Henson and do Muppet stuff before she...
My dad?
Yeah.
Yes. I think that Wil Wheaton needs to continue speaking out. Just focus his words a little better.
Shut the...
Just focus a little better, Wil Wheaton. You can do this.
You don't need to do anything, Wil Wheaton. You're fucking Wil Wheaton.
Whoa.
Just you're allowed to shut up.
He told the greatest story ever told.
Get that. Here's what so many people forget. Not just Wil Wheaton, but so many people. You're allowed to write nothing. That's an option. Use that option more often.
He's a sweet boy. He's just trying. He's trying to help, and I don't know if he's being
himself.
helpful.
I don't think he is trying to help. I think it's very performative.
Have you seen Wil Wheaton's stepsons?
No, I don't give a shit,
They might-
dude. Why
they-
are we
But
talking
he can't.
about his
He can't make his
stepsons?
own sons. What kind of pussy are we talking
They
about?
might
here?
they might come beat you up. They're pretty buff
care.
looking dudes.
I don't care.
No, I've never seen them, and I know I could beat them in a fight. If Wil Wheaton had any hand in raising them, I can beat them up.
I'm telling you, there's some chads. They're alpha chads. They're
Cool.
very handsome.
Oh,
young
are they
men.
like rebelling against Wheaton by being Chad? That's
no,
actually
they
kinda cool.
they appreciate Will in their life. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, don't touch me. Don't touch me. TPO, they're going to touch me.
Anything to end the Wil Wheaton stepsons conversation. All right, here we go.
Get your own kids, loser.
We have. This is something. Destiny shares his thoughts on black people.
Well, he loves black people. He's already told us that.
Look, Destiny was on a stream
That's a
with
girl's
Ms. Kiff, who's a streamer on Twitch, and Destiny was taking a lie detector test. So he's hooked up to a lie detector test here. That's what this is.
Okay. It just starts on Melina's face
Let's find
and
out
backs
once and
away.
for all. Let's settle this question. Let's go ahead. Let's settle it once and for all. Let's figure it out. Go ahead.
He's got his hand on a lie detector machine.
Do you love black people?
I love black people.
Now the lie detector machine's going off.
That's Destiny's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck!
He lied! He lied! Speed runner NFT sponsor! No!
Hassan is right
He
about
was
me.
determined to lie.
I'm sorry.
He was determined to lie.
I lied the whole time. I don't.
There you go.
He admitted it too.
There you go.
What a horrible racist.
There you go.
Got his ass.
There you go.
Okay, so I saw this earlier too.
Yeah.
Someone was like, "What is up with these game ads? There's weirder ones than this. This one's actually kind of timid."
This game ad, this woman.
I actually have seen a few weird game
Why
ads.
is she shaving his legs? Is that some erotic thing that people do
Oh,
that
it
I'm not
definitely
aware of?
is. But she
You
could
don't
just
have
be
your
helping
bitch
him.
shave your legs?
Yeah, shaving is a total fetish, total kink, shave kink.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's pregnant with his baby, and she walks in on him getting a couple leg shaves.
I know it's like anything's a kink, but is it actually that common?
It's how many?
It's one of the biggest things on the internet. He's shave cucking his pregnant wife, and it's hot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, my husband, endure
husband.
or leave.
Oh,
yeah.
I love endure as an option.
What do you think she chooses?
I think you got to endure. I think
She chose to leave.
She leaves, but she's moving into this beautiful house.
A beautiful house. She went back to grandma's old house.
And then she goes in, and it's like a log cabin.
Well, I mean,
I
the
see.
house is dilapidated.
Outside, it was like a
Yeah,
Spanish
this
villa.
House is, yeah, carpet doesn't really match the drapes here.
Right.
No. Mansions have terrible, expensive upkeep.
Okay.
That's true.
And now she's
and high property taxes.
now she has to choose whether she wants to use dynamite to light the fire. She uses a flamethrower. Poor her and
She
the
just
baby
happens
are
to have a
freezing.
flamethrower.
She got to try and fix the wall. She chooses to fix the wall with a hammer. Wrong.
Yep. Oh, bad idea.
Wrong.
It knocked your wall down. It doesn't even matter if you have a fire now, you
I think
idiot.
the wrong choice was letting a woman fix the wall.
Wow. Yeah, and that's it. You lose your baby to the freaking cold because you couldn't deal
Yeah,
with
I
a
guess
couple
you and
of
your baby are dead.
because you couldn't deal with some leg shaving.
Yeah.
Damn.
Grow up.
This game is psycho, man. This is crazy.
Rage, Shadow Legends.
Here's Trumpster Bob talking about The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
You could say the Hawaiian government is stuck between The Rock and a hard place. Movie star Dwayne The Rock Johnson took a stand in Hawaii to preserve what he calls sacred land. The actor, who is filming a movie in the state, he's been there quite a bit too, joined protesters trying to prevent the construction of a giant telescope on the state's tallest mountain. Hawaiian natives call the space sacred. Officials have started taking equipment to the top of the mountain to build a telescope.
I love how they didn't give a shit about it until The Rock showed up. Then it was news.
Yeah. Like, are you serious? Rock Johnson?
Rock Johnson?
Rock Johnson.
Are you serious?
No one has ever called him Rock
Because you
Johnson
got, like,
in history.
10% fucking
now.
Hawaiian blood in you? Or what the fuck ever it is. You're gonna take for some bullshit sacred land or a fucking telescope. There ain't no buried bodies on that fucking property. What the fuck is your problem? I am calling for a full boycott on anything touching Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Because this motherfucker is stupid as fuck.
I love how Trumpster Bob calls for boycotts with his, 2 viewers.
This is back when he had all the flags up on the wall. This is classic Trumpster Bob. He may have had 7 viewers then.
Simpler times.
Oh.
Yeah. He's probably fine with Rock by now, too.
I like him, but he's gay.
Now, see, I actually wasn't sure which way this would go because, yeah, I knew he wouldn't be psyched about the protecting sacred land thing, obviously. But what the opposing side is wanting to build a telescope, and I can't see him being that pro-science.
Yeah, he's not
so
really
I was
a science
wondering
man.
whether his racism would outweigh his anti-science views, and it turns out yes.
Yes.
You don't get in the way of innovation.
See, that I wasn't really expecting that. I didn't know Trump, Mr. Bob, Mr. Robert, Mr. No, sorry, it's his real name is
Bobby.
Just Bob.
Bobby.
Bobby. Yeah, his birth name is Bobby, not Robert.
No,
Bobby. Yeah, I didn't know he was so pro innovation. I like that.
Yeah, he's actually mad at Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Not just
for obstructing science.
Not just for obstructing science and getting in the way of innovation, but Trumpster Bob still believes that Rock stole his name from Drain the Rock Hudson.
Who's that?
Hello.
Ben
Yes?
just left the room, so you're a disassociated voice right now. He's gonna come back in. How you doing?
I finally show up to the thing I forgot I agreed to on the night where I aired like a really long episode.
Oh God, yeah. How was it? Good.
And at the time where the guy with the control panel can't do anything about it.
He left
Great.
He left like 1 second before you came through. So
You really nailed it.
I'm really sorry. Like I really suck. I'm sorry, guys.
No, it's
a written apology. Billy's being nice.
I feel
a
really
written
bad 'cause
apology.
I love the show and I've had to reschedule like a few times and he literally he messaged me tonight. He's like, "Here's a link for tonight." I'm like, "Fuck, that's tonight."
No, everybody who doesn't know, this is Tony from Hack the Movies. He was originally scheduled to be with us the entire episode, but he had double booked. And because Ben's not here, Tony's officially not actually here either. It's just the
Tony
ghost.
is not a person.
But yeah, we will get Ben in here in a second. He left with his phone, so he could be gone for a while.
Oh,
when
that's
I
a
leave
bad
with my
one.
phone, that means I'm
Bad
taking
sign.
a dump.
Ads.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you guys talking about? Trump or Bob?
Yeah, we're over here with Trumpster Bob, who's okay. He is very angry with Dwayne The Rock Johnson because Dwayne The Rock Johnson is trying to get in the way of innovation and science by well, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was saying you can't put a telescope up in the holy Hawaiian mountains because it's sacred land.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that. How'd that story end?
I don't know how it ended. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Trumpster Bob is just talking trash on it. So we weren't quite sure what side he would side with because science usually isn't his homie, you know?
Yeah, I was when I heard.
It's interesting that he's suddenly pro-science. I will say that. I did not expect that.
Yeah, when I heard like the setup for the story. By the way, hi Tony, I'm Scott.
Hi Scott, I'm Tony.
Hey,
I'm very famous and important.
It's true.
Good to meet you. I am also both of those things.
Oh, cool.
But were you in The Dark Knight Rises, Scott?
Yeah, I was not in The Dark Knight Rises, so you got that on me.
Oh wow! If only.
But I was in Netflix's The Main Event, so you know.
Yeah, that's not as cool as being an uncredited extra about 1,000 yards away from the camera in The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Sorry,
pretty good.
Sorry, Christopher
yeah,
Nolan's The Dark Knight Rises. Scott, you know who Christopher Nolan is? Are you familiar with Christopher Nolan?
I was in Vamp for Time while I look up the director of The Main Event. Is
that the WWE movie, the kid who gets powers?
You bet your ass it was, friend.
I never ended up watching that. It didn't look.
I was guy in red singlets.
Ooh.
Yeah, you're welcome. I was in Jay Karras's The Main Event. You know, director Jay Karras.
Oh, of course.
Is it Jay Karras or Jake Harris?
Jay Karras.
Interesting.
Yeah, Karas.
Interesting. What do you think Christopher Nolan would have done with The Main Event?
I would have liked to see it. I wish I was in Christopher Nolan's The Main Event. It was in 2020, so we're deep into Nolan being all the way up his own ass. So it probably would have been pseudo-intellectual and made people feel smart, but the more you think about it, the more holes you can poke in it.
Look, I know, I watched Tenet, so I know exactly how Christopher Nolan's The Main Event would be. It would be, by the end, everybody would be convinced wrestling was real again. I'm sorry.
Billy, what do you think about this? You can't spell The Main Event without Tenet.
Well, fuck
That's
you.
True.
I just blow your mind.
And of course, after The Main Event, he went on to such great things like the Mighty Ducks Game Chasers episode 2, Turner and Hoops reboot, the Diamonds Are Forever episode, the reboot of Dynasty, something called Acapulco, and the Gordita Chronicles. That's currently filming. Are you in the Gordita Chronicles?
Obviously, big Gordita guy. I'm sorry. Does Christopher Nolan have 107 directing credits? I don't think so.
You know what?
Advantage,
I don't think he does.
Jay Karras.
Yes.
Scott, didn't you try out for Nacho Libre? Weren't you going to be like Jack Black's stunt double?
I was potentially going to be Jack Black's stunt double in Nacho Libre, but I was deemed too tall and not fat enough, which is never something that has been said before about me.
I was almost gonna be one of the kids from Twilight was in that Last Airbender movie. I was gonna be their body double, and I got paid to try on an outfit, and I showed up hungover. And they were like, all right, we're good. And then I never got the part. Ben, put me on camera.
Turn your camera on, and then I'll bring you up.
I can see him.
My camera's on.
Is it doing that again?
I can see him right now.
Oh, no.
I can see him in Skype.
Let me leave the call and come back. I'm going to leave the call and come back because I can't see him.
Is the audio...
We're going to leave the call and come back. While we're doing that, everybody watching at home, like this stream or else.
Let's see, why not?
I think it's coming on now.
What else were you guys talking about tonight?
We spent a good time talking about
Wil
Wil
Wheaton
Wheaton
being performatively angry about Dave Chappelle.
Well, I agree with Wil Wheaton. Because I'm very progressive. I agree with all celebrities. So
Thank you.
Wil Wheaton. Yeah, me and Wil Wheaton.
You know what? That's the correct stance. You're doing it right. We all did too.
Yes.
Some of us are too famous to disagree with Wil Wheaton.
Yeah, I have a very popular show, but it's not popular enough to be cancel proof. So I agree with Wil Wheaton. And that Dave Chappelle, bad guy.
but only
You heard it here
because
first. Bad guy.
only because he speaks for cis het white males. That's why he's
Yes.
bad. No other reason.
Yeah.
And I
noted cishet white male Dave Chappelle.
I hate cishet white males, even though they are an overwhelming majority of my audience.
Shit.
But if I learned anything from Hollywood, you have to hate your target audience.
Absolutely. You have to, 1, hate your target audience, and 2, hire about 4 Indian women for your writing staff.
The cool thing about Drunken
I
Peasants...
don't have a writing staff, unfortunately.
The cool thing about Drunken Peasants audience is that all of our cis het white male fans are eventually going to become transgender. It's just like the numbers show... Like we're skewing.
They're all on
It's trending.
We're getting so many more women viewers because of transgender. It's
The
pretty
analytics
sweet.
are going in that direction.
Pretty sweet.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't have any women viewers that were born women, but
Doesn't
many that are
matter.
women.
What are you, Team
Doesn't
Turf?
matter.
No, not at all. I'm just saying, like, those are the women you attract.
Yes.
Sounds
By
like
a
Team Turf Talk.
100% margin.
Yes. We're
me see
proud
here.
too.
I got a whopping 3.2% female audience. That's pretty
Sick.
high.
Interesting.
That's about, I don't know, 3.1% higher than this one. So
Yeah.
Actually, we're pulling
doing
like
good.
Actually, we're pulling like 6% here.
Whoa!
And you don't need to lie on the show, Ben. That's
It's because the
Not
women show up to watch me. They call me Babyface Billy, the sweet boy. That can't help it.
That's true. I can see that. You are the sex appeal on the show.
I try not to say it myself, but thank you for.
Oh, really?
What?
You try not
I
to?
try not to.
Then you fail miserably.
he unsuccessfully tries not to
Right.
every show.
Sometimes it comes up in conversation. That's it. Case in point, right
comes
now.
up it comes up when you steer the conversation that way.
I disagree.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm on camera now.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry I didn't realize it doesn't look like that in Skype. I only see Scott's face in Skype.
Oh, so we will
And
share.
I only see Tony.
We will share our screen too.
How about,
okay.
How about you show us? How about you
because
get your fucking shit together, Ben? How
It's
about
because
that?
I left the call and came back in.
Like literally the second you walked out, Tony showed up. So
the timing was beautiful. Actually.
I had to pee so bad. I was waiting.
We've been holding the show together.
Guys,
now,
I am shocked that I'm even doing this right now. I was up till 3 a.m. last night.
Thank you
the
for
episode that came out.
Yeah.
I was falling asleep driving home from work today. I don't know how the hell I'm doing
Oh
this.
God!
And it's almost like 11 where you are, right?
Yes, it's about to turn. Yeah, it's 10:40 something.
Scott,
right now.
quick, say something heinous that Tony will sleep over, so we can have him a little later.
That's never a thing you should say to me.
Also, if you're going to say heinous things, I just want to remind everyone that I am a very famous celebrity, and I disavow anything that happened on this podcast.
Oh,
exactly.
The opinions of this podcast are
Yes.
the opinions of Tony. Let's be clear about
No, not my opinions. I disagree with everything that was said on here.
Scott has said things that have made other guests leave that were on the show with him.
That is a half truth.
No, it's not. No, there was the one time Asterios literally left.
Asterios never left.
He was on
Asterios
East Coast
did
time.
not leave. Asterios did not leave when I asked if PETA stands for People for the Ethical Treatment of Asians.
Whoa,
he did not.
And I said, no, it's animals. And you're like, what's the difference?
And then I said, what's the difference? And he left.
I don't like that joke. I don't agree with that joke.
The jokes expressed on this podcast are written by Tony. Let's be very clear.
I can't wait for Wil Wheaton to cancel
Even on
you,
shows
Scott.
that he's not on. He is our right.
I will be boycotting this program, and I will not be watching the main event on Netflix.
Oh, come on.
Throwing
I
the
get
baby out with the
$0 every
bathwater.
time someone watches it.
I don't think Asterios likes me, so that's pretty. So
How
I guess
come?
we have. I think I made fun of him when he was like having his falling out with Dick, when he was like, but he was like being like, I don't know, he was getting weird. And I think I just made.
You both seem lovely. I like you both.
I had no problem with him before that whole like meltdown he had. I met him at one road rage. We had fun.
He offered to beat the shit out of you if you want.
No, he didn't.
Okay, I made that up.
Yeah, but no, he had this like really public falling
Man,
out.
I wish
with
I
Dick.
said that.
And I think I like teased him and stuff. And he did not enjoy being teased because he is a comedian who can't take jokes. Anyway, what are we talking about?
I like to talk about people that I'm not friends with. Unfortunately, I'm stuck here in a rock and a hard place because I like Asterios a lot. And I like how many jokes he's taken.
I don't not like him. I enjoyed his comedy and stuff. I don't know. He just got a little weird. I'm fine with him though.
Yeah. Let's move on to talking more about Wil Wheaton, please.
Yes, let's talk about another annoying guy.
No, I love Asterios. He's very sweet, and it's probably because I never got too deep with him about and during a hard time. By the way, Tony, he was going through hard times then. You know that, right? And
I know.
You want to tackle on him? You want to beat up on poor little baby
I didn't
Asterios?
make fun of him for that whole lawsuit thing. I was on his side. I pledged to his Patreon and his whatnot.
Don't you know this is what Dave Chappelle died for?
You know, I actually have not watched the Dave Chappelle comedy special.
Really?
Like I just.
Well,
I saw the one. I saw the one before that. And that one was really, really funny. But yeah, everyone's like freaking out so hard about the special. Like I haven't even gotten around to watch it.
Have you had a negative opinion of it?
I watched the whole thing.
Most of the people freaking
waiting
out
to see what people were mad at, and it never came.
Most of the people freaking out haven't watched it either.
Yeah. So
what did I do? Okay, so the last one that everyone freaked out at, I did like a fun experiment on Twitch. I watched his comedy special, and then I immediately followed it up with Hannah Gatsby's Nanette.
Nanette is 1,000 times more offensive than anything Chappelle has ever done.
Because his comedy special got a 0 on Rotten Tomatoes and hers got 100. So I did a whole try not to laugh challenge at Dave Chappelle. I failed it. Then I did a try to laugh challenge at Hannah Gatsby, and I failed that one too.
Oh yeah, I got right. And yeah, have you watched Hannah Gadsby's follow-up special to Nanette?
I will never watch a Hannah Gatsby video again. So
it's actually one of the funniest specials ever made because
like,
it was so completely ironically.
Okay.
Because because it's so clear she completely blew her load in the first one, and the second one is the hackiest fucking shit you've ever heard. She's like, "Well, I've done the rape stuff, so I guess it's yole is a funny word, isn't it?" And like, oh my god.
Where do we stand on Tig Notaro?
I was thinking about Tig Notaro when I went for my night walk last night. I was thinking, I don't know why, but I was thinking about
Tig Notaro often.
More than you'd think. But I was thinking about her kind of impromptu special that like Louis C.K. recorded and released, like when the one where like she found out she had cancer.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's really good. Like it's really honest and raw. And I was thinking about a moment near the end of it. It's like half an hour long, kind of, because she was just doing a set somewhere. It was not planned to be an album, and she was talking like it was this confluence of shit had fallen on her, like her mother in good health died suddenly. She was diagnosed with cancer and needed a double mastectomy, and her girlfriend at the time left her, I think. So it was not a great day.
And then she was on Star Trek Discovery, which just added to that.
And then she was on Star Trek Discovery, the worst thing that could happen to anyone. But so she's there's some funny stuff because she's good on stage, but it was a lot of just like shit that's going on in her life. And then near the end of it, she's sort of apologizing for it. She's like, this is like, you guys don't want to hear this. It's, you're here for a comedy show. And you can hear a guy in the back yell, "Don't stop. This is amazing." And I was thinking about that. And I think I like almost cried, like thinking about it, thinking back to it, because it was just such like this honest moment.
I will say, when I used to watch a lot of stand-up, like way back when, I did enjoy Tig Notaro stuff. I never like sought it out, but if it was playing,
yeah, she's good though.
Yeah, I always enjoyed her stuff. I like some of her acting. She had a funny episode of the Sarah Silverman show. Remember when Sarah Silverman used to be funny, or at least tried to?
I do. Sarah Silverman show was awesome. That was a really fun
that show was great. That show was great, and she is like disavowed everything that happened on that show, which is ironic because that was the funniest she ever was.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
She stopped.
Brian Posehn and Steve Agee as a gay couple, the best.
Oh yeah, she would never do that in a million years. Now she would yell at other people for doing that.
She stopped fucking Jimmy Kimmel, and now she's on the side fucking Jimmy Kimmel.
But no, Tig Notaro. I like Tig Notaro. Not like in my top 10 at all, but she was good as a last minute stand-in in that awful Zack Snyder movie.
Was she good in that?
I mean, considering she had to do
that.
Considering she had to do everything on a green screen against no one.
Tig Notaro replaced Chris D'Elia, the funniest thing that's ever happened.
Also, even though she acts, she's not like a great actor. So like,
no,
the fact that she was acting competently against a green screen in front of absolutely no one, and I was like, oh wow, that was really good. Shame it's wasted on this garbage film, but okay.
I thought that was the greatest like stick it to you in all the Me Too movement. When Kevin Spacey got canceled, he got replaced by Christopher Plummer.
And
everybody's like,
natural replacement.
Yeah, everybody's like, oh well, that's just an upgrade. But they're like, no, we're gonna have to hurt people now because Kevin Spacey thought he could come back. So we're gonna get canceled, and we're not gonna replace you with a better actor. We're gonna replace you with Tig Notaro. And so now people don't want to get canceled. That's the real gut. Like, you get canceled before and Christopher Plummer replaces you, you're like, well, that's not too bad. That's an honor, actually.
That's when we'll know when Dave Chappelle is truly canceled, when Netflix edits him out of his own comedy special and replaces him with Tig Notaro.
Or Hannah Gadsby. Is that where this is going?
Is who he gets replaced
They're
with.
going to do the Snapchat filter over Dave Chappelle's face with Hannah Gadsby?
Or just the corpse of Christopher Plummer. They just dig him up.
Oh, God.
Sure, you can do that, too. I want to see the Spacey cut of All the Money in the World, though. I bet it's good.
Is it?
Right?
I don't know. I didn't even see the regular movie.
I know.
So
I didn't either because I want to see the Spacey cut. I want to see the Spacey cut of All the Money in the World, and I want to see the butthole cut of Cats. I don't think that's too much to ask for either.
There is a butthole cut of Cats, isn't there?
It's somewhere.
Kevin
I'm going to
Spacey,
find it.
man,
It's the
like,
last fucking thing I do.
I thought it was hilarious they tried to keep whatchamacallit House of Cards going after they fired him. It's like, what? I'm like, no, you guys have no story anymore. And they tried to like,
President's dead, and Robin Wright, you want to take it from here? Or
4 seasons building up to this separation between these two characters so they can finally go against each other. Oh, he's just dead.
Dead.
It's like, oh, cool.
Yeah, lots of conflict in that last season. Very gripping.
How did it even end? Doesn't she like kill Doug or something? I don't know. Fuck it.
I watched it and I couldn't tell you for $1,000,000 what happened in it.
I like Wikipedia the ending once, and I was like, oh, that sounds terrible. I'm glad I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I didn't watch it either.
If I watch something, I will watch it to the end. So I absolutely watched every episode of House of Cards and couldn't tell you a fucking thing about the last season besides the fact that Kevin Spacey was dead. Well,
good news when it comes to Netflix. You're going to be able to watch all of Cowboy Bebop because they just canceled it. I just saw that on my Twitter timeline. I'm like, oh, it got canceled. Huh?
Poor John Cho.
I will never watch the Netflix Cowboy Bebop, and also I will never watch the original Cowboy Bebop because cartoons are for kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fix your audio sync, Scoot. How do I do that?
I think it's okay. I don't see a problem with it.
Yeah, we don't really pay attention to you when you talk anyways, so it's fine.
Yeah, I kind of figured. I figure I can get away with a lot here.
Oh, what's that, Scott? He's doing his best. I don't. Who's somebody who's hateful? Who's a hateful person? I could say you're doing an impression of.
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, he's doing his best Dave Chappelle impression.
Someone
you don't have to listen to him.
Someone sent in a Streamlabs asking if we're going to talk about Shkreli because I guess your buddy Martin Shkreli is.
Is he free?
No, he's in trouble.
What?
Yeah.
God damn it!
I forgot about that guy.
Yeah, hold on. I think I had it in here. Hold on.
FTC is to recoup up to $40 million.
Yes.
What?
I thought I had it.
Hey, is someone a piece of shit on the internet? Billy's probably friends with them.
Probably.
There, here it is.
So the Federal Trade Commission is to recoup up to $40 million due to the illegal scheme he masterminded. Trial set for next week. What?
Yeah, he's in trouble.
Leave this man alone.
Yeah, because you should volunteer to be his lawyer.
I
because I heard you defend him as if you are so many times.
His lawyer.
Real quick. Does the internet like him or hate him? I forget.
They hate him.
They hate him.
Oh,
They're
then
not
I
crazy
hate
about
him too. Throw the book at him. I think the sentence should be death.
This guy also ruined Angry Video Game Nerd too. Want to point that out?
Whoa! You know what's funny? I haven't worked for Cinemasker like since January, and I've only been in one video, which was filmed months ahead of time. And people like still yell at me for ruining the channel. I'm like, I'm not even on it anymore. You got your goddamn fish. I'm not even there. People still are like, you slob. You're destroying it. I'm like, I don't even work there anymore.
People still blame me for ruining Drunken Peasants, and they haven't watched for 3 years.
Right.
like, hold on. But that being said, do we have something about Martin, or do we just...
Yeah, I'll pull it up here. There it is.
The FTC states to recoup millions in relief for victims fleeced by Pharma Bro scheme illegally monopolized life-saving drug Daraprim. It was illegal? It was illegal now?
Oh wait, this is the one you said that he didn't do anything wrong about.
Yes.
He got busted for some other thing.
Yeah.
But you said him jacking up the AIDS treatment one was totally chill. Apparently this is less chill than initially thought.
What I said is
the AIDS treatment thing, that was like he was sticking the insurance company with the bills, not the actual people, right?
Yeah. So this could be why he's going to lose, because the insurance companies have the best lawyers. But yeah, so this is something that the insurance companies had been doing for a while. They find an orphaned drug that is underpriced, and they buy the rights to it, and they raise the price of the drug. It happened a lot in the 90s. Martin found one.
Good decade.
Martin found one in the mid 2010s and did it, and got notoriety because he also bought a Wu-Tang album and looked like a very punchable gentleman. The Federal Trade Commission and its
he does have a punchable thing.
Yeah.
If you listen to all like the jurors in the jury selection process and how many people got turned away for just saying he looks punchable.
What's that Netflix show that he's in the thumbnail for?
I think it's called Greed.
Greed.
He's in the thumbnail for the entire series. There's like 12 episodes. He's in like the first 3 minutes of one of those episodes.
Yeah.
And they put him on the thumbnail because he's that hated.
Yep.
He's literally in like 3 minutes of one episode. 12 hours long.
I remember hearing the whole age drug thing and finding out like it wasn't as nefarious as people thought it was, but he apparently did do a lot of actual shady stuff, but I never really followed it too much.
Where I'm from, actual shady stuff is rewarded. I'm American. The Federal Trade Commission and its state co-plaintiffs, New York, California, Illinois, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Virginia, filed an order in court today that shuts down an illegal scheme masterminded by Pharma Bro Martin Shkreli that fleeced patients depending on the life-saving drug Daraprim. The order follows a January 2020 complaint against Shkreli, his associate Kevin Militi, their company Viera Pharmaceuticals LLC, and its parent company Phoenixus AG. Enforcers allege that Shkreli, currently in prison for securities fraud, and Milady hiked the price of Daraprim up by 4,000% and then concocted an elaborate web of restrictions to illegally block competitors from producing a cheaper option.
So he's not going to get out as soon as everyone thought he was.
We don't know that.
If this sticks.
Well, I mean,
he's not getting his album back.
It's already been sold for like $4 million.
I know someone else has it.
I think he made money off the sale.
No, they didn't give him the money from the sale.
From what he said, that he was able to facilitate the sale and use the money that he facilitated to pay off his debts with the federal government. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. That's just
okay. So the money went to the government. He didn't keep it
because he owed them $7 million.
Well, yeah. Whose fault is that?
Obviously the government for catching
the government
catching the homie slipping. But today's action puts money back in the pockets of drug patients fleeced by a monopolistic scheme, said FTC Chair Lena M.
Some would say
Khan.
monopolistic.
Monopolistic?
Monopolistic.
It's monopolistic. Yeah.
That's when you have one ballistic.
Yes, that's what a ballistic is.
Guys, we should have a game night and play Monolopy.
Monolopy. I hate Monolopy.
I never finish a game of Monolopy.
It always ends in fights with family members. Monolopy's terrible. So that FTC chair Alina M. Khan says Martin Shkreli masterminded an elaborate plan to dramatically jack up the price of life-saving drug Daraprim by blocking cheaper options. While litigation against Shkreli continues, the order shuts down the illegal enterprise run by his companies, Viera and Phenixis, and bans his associate from the industry.
So I've heard your argument several times that that drug is hardly used. It's only for people with toxoplasmosis. Toxoplasmosis that have cats.
I think it's made for people with toxoplasmosis who suffer 20 to 30,000 people a year suffer from it. It's
but I have cats.
Yeah, and you better be careful.
Oh,
better not get toxoplasmosis, Scott. But they have it's a one cycle drug. It's not like this drug that you have to go back over and over and over for years to combat anything. It's a one cycle and you're done situation. But I don't know anything about this part about illegally blocking things. The complaint alleges that Shkreli and Mulady launched Viera with a plan to purchase a life-saving drug, raise the price dramatically, and use anti-competitive contracts to block competition. Anti-competitive contracts? Are those illegal? How can you have an anti-competitive contract? How can a contract be illegal? This seems weird.
If there's enough of them, it creates a monopoly, which is an antitrust issue.
Yeah.
Okay. Viera acquired...
I'm sorry. It's
asked and answered.
A monopoly?
Sorry, a monopoly.
A monopoly. Viera acquired Daraprim in 2015 and immediately raised the list price from $1,750 to $750 per tablet. According to the complaint, Viera
so people got kind of mad at that. They're raising it from $17 to $750. But then what they got really mad at after that was he actually started replacing the pills in the bottle with a handwritten note that said maybe you shouldn't have gotten AIDS. And that's what people got really mad at.
Well, look, if that's true, I believe it, and I put him in jail even longer.
He used some really beautiful stationery.
What you just said confirmed my bias that he's a bad guy, so I'm believing it. And just, yeah.
He used really beautiful stationery for those handwritten notes. So, $750 per tablet. According to the complaint, Viera then created a web of anti-competitive restrictions to box out the competition. It entered resale restriction agreements with distributors that prevented generic companies from procuring the drug for FDA-mandated testing. It entered exclusivity agreements with the suppliers of a critical input known as primethamine API.
Pyrimethamine.
Thank you. I don't know how to pronounce words that I never use and probably will never use again. Like monopolistic, or what have you said? What was it? Milo-yamalopolistic?
Jesus Christ.
So, and it inked data blocking agreements with two key distributors to prevent them from releasing Daraprim sales data and thereby mask the true size of the market opportunity for potential generic competitors. The complaint alleges that his scheme delayed generic competition for years and caused tens of millions of dollars in harm to consumers. I thought the generics came out rather quickly afterwards. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
It sounds like you might be wrong.
I might be, or it sounds like they might be gunning for my guy because he's supposed to be out in April. And
sounds like the FTC are liars.
And they know.
Were you planning a welcome back party for him and everything?
100%.
Were you picking him up in a stretch Hummer?
Yeah, just like I got the one they were going to use for Tiger King. I got a deal on it. So, upon the federal district court's entry of the stipulated order, Mulady will generally be banned.
Yeah, are you calling him Mulady?
Mulady, yeah.
You tipping a fedora at him?
Yeah.
Mulady.
Yeah, Mulady will generally be banned from working for, consulting for, or controlling a pharmaceutical company for 7 years. Mulady is also subject to a $250,000 suspended judgment if he is found to have violated the terms of this order. The order requires Viera and Phenixis to pay up to $40 million total in equitable monetary relief. $10 million is guaranteed up front, and up to $30 million more is payable over 10 years if the company's financial condition improves.
Which it won't.
Definitely not, right?
So take the 10.
Well, that's probably what'll happen, but that's if they're convicted. Is this civil? What is this?
No, this is a criminal charge.
Okay.
Yes.
The order requires Vieira pays all this bullshit. Vieira and Phoenixes are required to make Daraprim available to any potential generic competitor at list price and to provide prior notification of any planned pharmaceutical transaction valued at $25 million or more. Milady, Vieira, and Phoenixes are also prohibited for 10 years from engaging in any conduct similar to what the FTC and the states alleged in their amended April 2020 complaint.
Or maybe, I don't know if it is. I don't know if it's criminal. I'm not sure.
Yeah, man. Maybe we should know before we pick on poor little Martin Shkreli again.
Nah, he's a criminal.
No, you know what this is? This is the damn... these are the damn lawyers holding the football out for Martin, saying, come kick this football, and they rip it out. And he goes and kicks. He falls on his head like Charlie Brown.
Doesn't he tell people he's like...
Martin.
They're picking on poor little Martin Shkreli.
He's like the most famous Albanian or something.
Up until Dua Lipa, I believe. They love him over there.
Hold on. How quickly we forget Regis Philbin, people. That's my Albanian.
The Belushi brothers are Albanian.
Yeah.
Look,
come on.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is they're very proud of Martin Shkreli in the town of Shkrel, which he is named for. And if you haven't seen the documentary Pharma Bro that I'm in, not playing wrestler in a singlet or random fan at a sporting event that Bane blows up.
But you were wearing a singlet.
I was wearing a singlet. Yes. No,
this is not how you were credited.
They go to the little town of Shkrel and they interview them about Martin Shkreli. You know what they say? They say, "Here's a sweet boy. Here's a very sweet boy.
He is sweet boy.
Here's sweet boy. Very nice." They're all Borat over there. No, that's not true.
They do be like that over there.
They do be like that sometimes. They're all wearing their little green Dick Hammer singlets that Borat wore. Remember his little Dickie Hammer singlet he had?
Yeah.
I've never heard it called that, but I know what you're talking about.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. He had the Dickie Hammer hammock.
By the way, did anyone see Borat 2? Did it look? Was it as bad as it looked? Because it looked pretty terrible.
I left at it pretty hard.
It was all right.
It's pretty good. It's got a good chunk of funny stuff.
And
it's not the first one, obviously, but it's funny.
The Rudy Giuliani part is great.
Dude, like fucking what's his name, Sacha Baron. Like he used to be so fucking funny, and like the last few years with him being like, we have to like censor everything people say, which I agree with. I forgot my shtick. I agree with it. We should censor everything. Actually, you know what? Disable the chat. Just censor the whole chat. Go ahead. Go ahead. Do it.
If
right
chat
now,
wants to be heard, they can pay their $20 like
He,
everybody else.
He actually, for this last movie, pulled one of his stunts here in Washington State. Like in the Tacoma area, he did his little Hillary country music show live in front of a bunch of MAGA people.
Wasn't he living with some guys here in Washington too?
Yeah, I don't know why they let him live with them.
I mean, because this is the thing. You think they're all hate-filled MAGA dudes, but they're really sweet boys that just want to have a
It turns out they're just stupid. If you tell them hate stuff, they'll be hateful. If you tell them you should live with them, they'll let you live with them. They're just stupid at the end of the day. There's no ideology.
They're just what they are is they're total submissive.
There's this part where they keep going into like
subs.
They keep going into this UPS store to send messages, fax messages to the government of Kazakhstan, and the guy who owns this place is just like making these faces because these crazy faxes start coming through from the government of Kazakhstan. It's really messed up. It's pretty great.
It's not bad. Good. It's a good return to the character. It's not like groundbreaking, breathtaking, but it was fine.
I don't know. The trailer didn't do it for me.
No, you probably would think it fucking sucked, but me, somebody who doesn't care about things, I thought it was fine.
You care about your hateful I assume white supremacist friend Martin Shkreli.
Hey, he donated $100,000 to Bernie Sanders.
Did he?
Yeah, Bernie gave it back though. Bernie was like, "No, I don't want your money. You take it back." And then Martin's like, "Okay." Then
I was wondering if you were going to say the second part of that story. I'm actually surprised you did.
Of course, I'm not, dude. I'm anything but a liar. I am.
You know, you're truly you're fair and balanced. You're a real Fox
I am
News.
honest to a fault. Who admitted to doing blackface today?
That's true.
But
blackface is bad. Blackface is bad.
But I was on.
No, actually, Tony, the internet has come around on blackface and it's actually cool now. So
I was ahead of the game on blackface.
Oh, I'm not up to date. I will have to confirm this.
I didn't do it on purpose. I went to school as a juggalo for Halloween, and my makeup got messed up, and I let the Australian exchange student fix my makeup.
Yeah, when is the hack?
She gave
the
me
movies,
blackface.
When is the hack the movies on the Jazz Singer?
What?
By any chance?
Now, which one?
Original.
The original or the
Al
remake with Neil
Jolson.
Diamond?
Al Jolson.
Jolson, baby.
You know what's funny? The remake with Neil Diamond, they do a loving tribute to the blackface from the original. They put Neil. No, look it up. They put Neil Diamond in blackface to like.
It's it's touching.
Yeah, he's playing in a black jazz club, but he needs to be black, so the black singers make him black, and it's like, wow, I don't think we needed to pay tribute to the part of the original everyone has agreed
My
is
favorite
wrong.
part of the original.
Jewish Elvis in blackface?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yep.
Interesting.
Look it up. Look it up.
It's so much going on, you can't even get mad at it.
I mean, Jimmy Kimmel did blackface, right? He did Karl Malone.
He did a character. He was doing a character.
That was
work.
a character.
blackface.
It was character work.
There is a difference. I mean, I think it's all wrong, and everyone should go to jail for it. But you know, there is a difference
Now you should
between
check
the
the internet.
definition.
They like it now.
It was funny. I did a video a while back where I pointed out that I played Aladdin in a video, and I'm like, by the way, when I played Aladdin, at no point did I decide to do blackface, and I just cut to a picture of Justin Trudeau as Aladdin.
Did you do blueface?
I'm like,
though?
wow,
my prime minister under the bus.
Yo, he does legit blackface. That is like legit, like comical, like not comical, like the makeup is done to insult black people. Like remember the one he did where like he painted his tongue and everything? It's like that's not even what black people look like.
Committed. He did the lazy racists just do the front of the face. He did everything. He did his hands. It was tasteful.
Have you ever
the fact that he did it multiple times? It's like, oh my god! Like, what the fuck, dude?
His dad was
kind of
prime
his
minister
favorite
too.
Yeah.
So like he was
could've
involved in
maybe
politics.
He could have maybe gotten away with the first one. Been like, look, I was in a play. The director of the play, they made me do it. But no, then they found video of him just hanging out in it. It's like, all right, dude, what the fuck?
I thought he was Mr. Popo
Blackface me
from
once,
Dragon Ball.
shame on you. Blackface me twice.
Like I was a horrible Asian stereotype in a play of Anything Goes in high school, but that wasn't my choice. That was the elderly nun who cast me in that role, and I'm like, all right, I'm 15 and I don't know any better, and the repercussions of what you do being younger coming back to haunt you aren't really a thing yet.
Never trust the nuns.
I went to Catholic school.
Some people,
Nuns are awful.
some people are born being Asian. Some people achieve being Asian, and some people have being Asian thrust upon them. So I understand.
Have you ever seen the 80s movie Soul Man?
I legit mention it in an upcoming episode.
Really?
Because our Patreon, they voted on us to do Christmas Vacation. And I mentioned, I'm like, yeah, when I was a kid, this is the only thing I saw Julia Louis-Dreyfus in outside of Seinfeld. And I was like, the other thing is the movie Soul Man. And my co-host didn't know what Soul Man was. I showed them the trailer and they're like, this isn't a real movie. I'm like, oh, it's a real movie.
Yeah, right.
It's unbelievable.
Wild.
Oh, I was rewatching the trailer and stuff. I'm like, oh my god, I'm watching. I'm like, he doesn't even look black. Like, it's just
no. He somehow
it's literally
looks
it's
whiter
like white
in
chicks.
blackface.
Like,
He looks
white
like
chicks. Yeah, it's just like white chicks. They don't look like white women. They look
He
horrifying.
does
This
look like
doesn't
Michael Jackson from Thriller, though.
A little bit.
Which
I like the name they come up with for him is Kareem Abdul Ali.
Oh God,
I'm like,
pretty
what
good.
the fuck?
I like that. Yeah, you can't just go regular. You go black Muslim. With
Yeah.
it. Like go all the way.
Nation of Islam. Yeah.
And also, Soul Man is a really bad movie, and we should burn all copies of it. Yeah.
What was
Everyone
the movie
involved
with
in the
Patrick
should go to
Dempsey
jail.
that was like a pizza whore?
What?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Wasn't there?
Did you say pizza whore?
Yeah, he was
What
a
the
pizza
fuck?
whore.
He did say. Can we rewind the tape and see if he said pizza
He
whore?
did.
Yeah. There was
Okay.
like they'd have old ladies call into the pizza place and order extra anchovies, and then he'd go have sex with them. The code word was extra anchovies.
I'm looking up Patrick Dempsey pizza whore.
Somebody's got to know this.
Holy shit! It's a real thing. Loverboy,
Yeah.
1989.
Carrie Fisher's
Holy
in.
shit!
Yeah.
And Kirstie Alley.
Carrie Fisher at the height of her powers in 1989.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Robert T. Oh man, Robert Picardo.
Yeah.
Oh, Robert
This is
Picardo.
an all-star cast.
Yeah. It's big money.
You know, I've watched a lot of Star Trek, and Robert Picardo is known for that. But when I see him, he's the gym teacher from the Wonder Years every time. I know, he almost chokes on a jelly bean.
I know him as.
Are you liking New Black Wonder Years?
I haven't seen it.
Did that come out?
Oh, interesting
Yeah,
that you love
it's
the
out.
Wonder Years and aren't even giving Black Wonder Years.
I
a
watched the
chance.
Wonder Years when I was a
Interesting.
kid.
Are you talking about Everybody Hates
Interesting.
Chris?
Yes.
Come to think of it, that probably.
I love Everybody Hates Chris.
That was a fun show. I didn't watch it all the time, but when I did, I enjoyed it.
It was Black Wonder Years. I'm pretty sure.
I didn't know the new Wonder Years was even out. I forgot
Yeah, it's
that
out.
was like happening. And I'll watch all of it. I'll watch every single episode and give it a 10 out of 10 on IMDb.
There you go. Now you're talking.
Now you're talking.
What about the movie White Chicks? What about the movie
Yeah, we
White
just
Chicks?
talked about that.
Yeah, because they also like Soul
horrific.
Man doesn't look like a black guy. The white chicks and white chicks do not look like white chicks.
They don't fulfill either word in the title.
They really don't.
They look neither white nor chicks.
But I would have sex with the White Chicks, knowing they were the Wayans brothers.
Absolutely.
I would do it. I'd be like, whatever. Bend over, Marlon. And he'd be like, I'm not Marlon.
I think we can all agree that the two best Wayans brothers movies are White Chicks and Requiem for a Dream. Those are the big two.
Dude, that
Dungeons and Dragons, man.
Not Little Man? You don't like Little Man?
A respectable third for Little
Requiem
Man.
for Requiem for a Dream has the most like hard to fap to scene in cinema.
What?
Yeah, like
ass to ass. What are you
The ass
talking
to
about?
ass.
but it's
That's a winner.
It's cutting in between the ass to ass, and it's cutting into like him getting his arm sawed off and like overdoses and stuff, and the grandma
All
freaking
the
out with
better.
her refrigerator. It's weird, dude. That's hard to fap to.
Easy fap. Easy fap.
For
You're
me,
doing
it was
wrong.
the old people in the audience like chanting during that scene. I'm like, stop cutting to the old guys.
It really cuts into the fap. And another one that's kind of like a timed fap trial is when you watch Titanic and Kate Winslet's getting all steamy naked and you have to pop one off before it cuts to the old lady's face.
That is an expert level challenge.
I reviewed Titanic a while ago, and whoever's tape I had, it wasn't my personal tape. I had another tape. When it got to that scene, the tape was just so fucking faded. Whoever had it.
Yes.
Actually, so I have like 5 copies of Titanic. I want to check, like, I haven't done it yet. I want to check every copy to see if they're all, including mine, if they're all faded at that part.
They're probably all.
That scene has tracking issues on every tape.
Yeah.
I had a bunch. That's the thing. I was the kid with like a bunch of horror movies, so I didn't really need Titanic. But like, I could see other kids that was like the movie where they got to see nudity for the first time. So
more Christian smegma was spilled to Titanic than people off the bow of the Titanic.
Wish you hadn't said smegma.
Smegma is after it like curls.
I don't
and
think
shit.
you know how the human reproductive system
I don't think he
works.
understands.
You know what? Christian smegma?
I'm gonna draw you a picture later.
Explain to me what I don't understand about Christian smegma.
Stop saying it.
I feel like there's some bet I don't know about that said you couldn't say Christian smegma 3
Right.
times on the
No,
show.
I read it wrong. I was supposed to say Christian Slater 3 times. So I've lost the bet.
Oh, that's how they get you. You lost the game.
I've lost the bet.
So yeah, when I was a kid, I had the Song of the South on video.
One of the best. Big fan.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember being a kid going to Disney and going on the what was it?
Splash Mountain.
Yeah, and I remember being a kid going like, "What movie is this from?" Because like I had no idea.
I've
like,
seen everything else in this park.
Yeah.
What is this?
And then we had a Disney like CD of like classic Disney songs, and Zippity Doodah was on it. And I remember being like, "What song? What movie is this song from?"
Where's the Zippity Doodah movie?
And then I found it years later. Actually, a teacher showed that to us in
Yeah.
grade school.
Yeah.
She basically was like, "Hey guys, so we're learning about slavery. We're gonna put this movie on, and literally the opposite of everything in this movie is what slavery was."
Yeah.
They were not hanging out with cartoon birds and singing and dancing merrily.
They thought it was pretty chill.
I didn't have Song of the South, but I had a Song of the South sing along when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like it was a sing along tape.
I think I did too.
Yeah.
I think I did.
What the fuck was up with that?
Yeah.
What was up with that?
That was a collection of short stories that Disney licensed to turn into a cartoon.
Huh.
Those were written by some writer from.
I'd like to meet that author. He seems like my kind of guy.
Mr. Bluebird on my shoulder.
Yeah.
It's the truth. It's actual. Everything is satisfactual.
Everything is satisfactual.
I went on Splash Mountain.
Yeah,
Felt racist.
Did you take a stone-faced picture when you're going down the big thing? Because that's a cool thing to do.
No, I'm not that type of guy.
Here's like a.
So you were like you were like, this ride's racist, and then you were like, yay!
Yeah.
Cancel this ride.
Read the caption, Billy.
Brer Rabbit and the Tar Baby, drawing by E.W. Kemble from The Tar Baby by Joel Chandler Harris, 1904. First appearance, 19th century.
Yeah.
I mean, that's some good early furry art right there.
Brer Rabbit.
I'm into it.
Yeah. Where's
Anthropomorphic rabbit.
How far back do you think the furry art goes?
Egypt, man.
Yeah.
Oh, jackal-headed gods.
This is the guy that.
Yeah,
wrote
like,
it.
hey man, that guy's like drawn like a dude with a dog head. He seems like a pervert, and that guy's like, nah, it's definitely God.
hot.
Oh, it's God. Oh, all right. That was the rate justified. Though, nah, it's definitely God. You shouldn't make fun of
Egyptians were the smartest furries.
Yeah, they were like, if you make fun of the cat boy,
you're actually racist.
You're going to hell because that's God. And they're like, oh yeah, we'll draw all the cat men. Fine.
Don't mind if I do.
Are we going to see the end of civilization soon?
Why is that?
Well, you're going back to ancient Egypt. You talk about the ancient Egypt, and one thing they started doing before they fell, was they start hammering emojis onto the wall. And I'm going around and I'm seeing emojis not on my phone anymore. People are putting them up on the walls because they're becoming the hieroglyphics of our current times. And does that just spell out the end for everybody?
I don't know if that was the contributing factor in the end of the Egyptian.
So.
I don't know if that was it.
Okay.
You know, graffiti has changed throughout the years, and it's always been like a thing.
Yeah.
It's true. It usually gets painted over, though.
And they weren't really emojis. That was like their writing.
It's kind of emoji.
No, they found the Rosetta Stone, and it showed how to read the hieroglyphics. It's an actual.
And one day
it showed what the winky face meant. It showed what the poop meant. It showed.
Yeah, one day they'll.
And then Rome had a bunch of graffiti, and I don't think that contributed to them collapsing. They were Italians.
Didn't help.
They managed the money
Didn't
for
help.
it.
I'll tell you what. I've been
the downfall of Rome was due to being Italian.
Seriously,
Look, I'm Italian, so that's the one thing I can make fun of. Don't take it away from me.
I've been to Rome twice, and everybody sounded like they were arguing with each other when they talked. Like everyone.
Have you ever hung out with Italians?
Yeah. Like even if they weren't mad at each other, it sounded like they were yelling at each other.
Yeah, they were like, "No,
They talk with their hands a lot."
Yep.
They're like, "No, I'm gonna fleece this American man for an uppriced beer." No, I'm gonna fleece this American man for an uppriced beer. The entire way
Look,
through.
I don't even speak the language, but like when people see like me and my family talking, we're all very loud. Like, you guys are loud. It's like, yeah, that's just what we do. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We're loud and we're mean. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm a cishet white male. I can't make fun of anything anymore. Fucking sucks.
Cishet.
Nor should you. Nor should any of us.
I'm tired of people punching up. It really hurts me.
Yes. Well, no, we
Guys,
can
if you take one thing away from this podcast, stop punching up.
Yeah, you're hurting poor little Billy the Fridge.
Well, Billy appropriated Native American culture for years.
I didn't appropriate it.
What?
I was led
He's
to
a
believe
real Elizabeth Warren
I was
type.
led to believe I was Native American. We went to powwows. I didn't appropriate it.
Wow, you disgusting.
I was a victim.
Okay, did you run for president under the Democratic Party?
I did, yeah.
He ran for mayor of
Yeah.
All right, you get a pass. It's okay when you do that.
I had my cishet white male privilege washed away through my formative years. I think I'm the victim here.
I still can't believe she went with that lie for so long. It's like,
and she got a DNA test and was like, look at, there was like a
That was the problem,
There was
yeah.
a small percentage, and she's like,
It's like 0.5%.
Was that it?
I thought it was. I thought it was that small.
I thought it was at least like 5 to 10.
Let me look up Elizabeth
No,
Warren.
it was like a 64th. It was like 1 or 2%.
Okay.
Like what most people are.
And that's, I'm not even that. You know, like.
Well, I'm not that either because I'm pure, but I mean other people.
Oh my God.
I'm trying to look up the exact number.
There's strong evidence she had Native American ancestry approximately 6 to 10 generations ago.
Yeah, good numbers.
I'm looking for the exact
Because she
number.
posted the DNA results, right?
Yeah, she
Yeah,
said them with pride.
Well, she posted the DNA results thinking it wouldn't be a shitstorm coming down upon her.
Pocahontas.
Which that level of naivety is amazing.
Oh, where is it? I'm trying to find the goddamn number. I can't find the number.
It was everywhere for a little while, but that was years ago.
Showed she was at best 132nd Native and possibly just 512th Native American.
512.
That would translate to between 98.44% and 99.9% not Native American. Let's say that was 98.44% not. You got like 1.5%.
That's like as much.
Benefit of the doubt, 1.6%.
You definitely shouldn't be running for president on the platform that you're Native.
And I think she had
probably not.
Put that on applications and shit too.
A lot of people
for like affirmative action and shit.
Whoa! Are you telling me that there's benefits to being a minority in this country?
I'm saying
That's
she shouldn't
not
have
true,
gotten
Ben.
them.
That's not true.
The worst thing you can be is a cishet white male.
I know. I hate being a cishet white male. When I was born,
Everyone's punching up.
When I was
It's the
born,
worst.
I had the world was in my hands. I was a little baby. I literally had it all. There was gold coins shooting out of my mom's vagina when I got pushed out. It was like a baby jackpot machine.
But that was a trick she learned to do in Thailand.
Yeah. Her titties literally came up with 3 number 7s across
I
them.
hope your mom's watching right now.
Yeah, it was a fucking. She won the jackpot. She had a tall, handsome white baby. It was
Imagine his mom being like, "Oh, Billy's not talking about me."
Yep, it was a golden shower. It was a golden shower spilling forth from her vagine. And now, 45 years later, I'm looked at as a failure because I was born a cis white fucking male, cishet white male.
Don't worry, that's not all.
What else?
Don't worry, there's other reasons.
It can get worse.
I couldn't possibly think of another reason. What are you talking about?
That's true.
My mom loves me. She knows that entire thing she knows was a joke because I was a C-section.
Oh.
She knows.
That was the fake part in the story. Okay.
She saw the ultrasound and she's like, that's not going through my vagina. Cut that fucker
out of me now.
He is not ruining it. Nope.
They fought for hours, like 12 hours to get me out.
What's your deal? Why were you stuck in there?
I don't know. I think I might have been breached
You're
or
like
something.
a fucking xenomorph or something.
And then my dad was finally like, look, you're going to cut it out.
Xenomorphs are efficient at getting out
You're
of
right.
bodies.
Yeah, they'll get right out. No problem.
You're
They don't
right.
need help.
If anything, they're a little too good at it.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
The
You're
doctor,
the opposite.
The doctor would not cut me out because I think he was a young doctor, so he was worried about it. He was like afraid to do it, and my dad was like, "No, you better cut him out right now. You better cut him out right
like,
now."
I'll do it.
Yeah, he was like, "If you don't do it, I'll kick your ass around this hospital room." And then the doctor got some balls.
I like the idea of Billy getting face hugged.
Yeah.
But it gets it acquires his trait of not being able to be delivered, and it just can't break out of the ribcage. Billy's just like, oh man, my chest hurts. I wonder what's up with that.
Shit. Pass it off at heartburn.
Oh God. I must not have had too much Taco Bell today.
Should eat that gas station catfish.
Yup. Dude, gas station food can be exquisite.
There is an outlaw. There's a gas station in Seattle where they deep fry all this delicious stuff, and not every, what is it, a 76 station or something?
A Shell station.
It's a Shell station. Not every Shell station has this.
No, it's rare.
Yeah, and it's like fried catfish and all sorts of.
Sometimes they have
deep-fried
chitlins.
goodness.
They used to have turkey legs before COVID.
Shitlins.
Full turkey legs. You get a big old hock of a turkey leg before COVID.
Just another thing we lost.
Yeah, where's
Thanks,
my
Obama.
But yeah, they got really good catfish there. If you're ever in Seattle and you want to eat catfish at a gas station, let me know. I got you.
I do want to
Good
go
to
to
know.
Washington at some point.
Yeah.
Washington State. I've been meaning to go there. Mostly to just look up Twin Peaks locations, but I do want to go there.
Ben and I went there.
We've been to the Double R Diner a couple times.
Yeah.
Oh man, we're gonna have to do a tour.
It's really close to like the area that I live in.
If you want to recreate some of the greatest scenes in Twin Peaks, we'll do it with you.
I made that Twin Peaks shirt with my face on it.
Yeah.
And the first thing I did was send it to a fan who lived out there. He wasn't even a fan of Twin Peaks. He's like, oh, I live around all those places. I'm like, all right, here's a shirt with my face pretending to be Laura Palmer. I'm like, just take a picture. I made a commercial of just this dude standing in all the locations wearing my shirt.
Yeah, there's Snoqualmie Falls, the waterfall. Yeah.
I wanna go there so bad.
Yeah.
Let's
it's
all
pretty
hang
cool.
out. We'll do a fun Patreon video.
Sure.
And we'll paywall it so these sons of bitches have to pay to see our adventure. Like, I need to pay $2 a month to see them have fun, and I'm not there.
Wasn't One-Eyed
What am I going to do?
Jack's-
Have my own fun? Forget about it.
Wasn't One-Eyed Jack's like over the border in Canada?
Yeah, it was up in Vancouver.
Yeah. Scott frequents that place.
If
Isn't it a fictional place?
Oh no, you thought so. It's all Scott.
Scott runs it now. Scott's the kingpin.
See, he's like a Canadian, but he basically lives he's American adjacent.
Well, so is every Canadian. 90% of the population lives 100 miles or less from the border.
And the other 10% are running from something.
You know, half of the
exactly.
Canadian population lives in southern Ontario, which is more southern than most of the United States. Or like most of like
Sorry, okay. Then most of the United States.
Then it's on like a latitude like every state east of Illinois or west of Illinois is northwest of Illinois is what I meant to say.
It's
you know
south
what I mean?
of the Northeast.
Yeah. And Michigan.
And Michigan.
I've been to Michigan a few times.
Reno's further west than Los Angeles. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? Tony, when you come here, if you want to dress up like Laura Palmer, I'll dress up like Shelley Johnson, and we can do some fucking sexy pics.
If you dress up like Laura Palmer, I'll do blackface.
What?
That's my
No.
That's my promise to you.
No. This is Twin Peaks. They only ever did what do they call it? Yellowface. Catherine Martell pretended to be an Asian man who looks like a chubby Justin Wang. It literally looks like if Justin Wang just let himself go. That was Catherine Martell's disguise.
Right here. 50% of Canada lives below this line here. That's what I was talking about.
We don't have that screen up.
Oh, shit.
So
My
you are
bad.
talking.
Hold on.
You're talking out of
I'm
your.
used to the other screen.
This is your monopolistic rule.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So 50% of Canada lives below the main Canada-U.S. border.
So 50% of Canada fits in that little tootie?
Yes, because that's where Toronto and Ottawa and Montreal, like all the major cities in the east, are below that line.
Huh.
Where does Trailer Park Boys take place?
All the
Ontario?
way east.
Is it
Nova
Halifax or
Nova
Nova
Scotia? Oh.
Nova Scotia.
Yeah. They
Who can
Scotia.
remember? I don't care about any Canadian, whatever you guys call it. What, a province?
Yeah, it's a province.
I just call it a state.
Fuck
Be
you.
normal. God damn it.
Go fuck
Didn't they
yourself.
steal that from Rhode Island?
Yeah,
They
we stole
That's
we
Providence,
stole our
not
provinces
province.
from Rhode Island.
I've been to Providence, Rhode Island. We've been there together,
It's
Scott.
Providence.
We have been there together.
Scott and I hung out in Providence, Rhode Island, and there was this big
Been to Province, Rhode Island, many times.
Remember we were in
Rhode
that
Island,
whaling
it's
town?
a province in it's a province in Canada.
Yeah, it was in Canada, and we went to that whaling town, and then we went to that gay bar to do karaoke, and there was a gigantic, big blonde woman there.
And we're like, man, it really is a whaling town.
Yeah, they were trying to take her home.
I disavow that fat shaming joke. That was
I'm not
very
fat
offensive.
shaming. She was an adult. She was an adult model, a big size, the plus size model. She was very sweet.
Beautiful. She was beautiful.
She was a
model.
big, beautiful woman.
Karaoke nights with you don't normally go well.
Well, who says that?
Remember when we went to the karaoke night?
No.
It was one of the Dick Masterson road rage.
How did that end?
You started scraping about how you raped
went
guys.
to jail.
Yeah.
You were like, I raped
Whoa,
guys.
whoa,
It didn't end-
disavow,
it didn't end
disavow,
poorly.
disavow.
How'd that end poorly?
I just want to say, I can't speak for everyone on this panel, but I do not agree with rape or rapist. I think they're out of line. And Billy, you should turn yourself in.
Well, for
Are you
one,
taking a hard stance that rape is bad?
I
Is that
am.
where
I'm
you're-
gonna-
for
I'm
one,
gonna go
I'm
there.
not going to listen to this pearl
All right.
clutcher. And for two, it was you had to be there.
Yeah.
You had to be there.
In context,
no,
it made
I
sense.
wish I wasn't at the rape.
I was.
What the fuck?
I was there. It was at like a pre-show for the.
It was a pre-show karaoke night at a bar, and there were all these
Pre-cum
Dick
show.
Masterson fans that had like their MAGA hats, and they're in Portland, which is like decidedly not that.
Big MAGA town, Portland.
Yeah, it was the opposite. So we were getting all these weird looks from the staff just for being there, and so I'm
So
like,
then you just started raping?
I'm like, let's take this up a notch. let's go beyond Thunderdome. And I just started screaming things that maybe were not true. But that's comedy. Comedy's based in the absurdity.
You're causing people
now,
to get hurt.
now that we have context, Billy is kind of the hero.
Thank
I
you.
like that they said you claimed that you were shouting you rape men, and then you just said things that may not have been true. It's like, you sure you might want to rethink that.
Nah. Dave Chappelle died for my sins.
Oh shit! I just knocked down my speaker.
He's not dead.
What?
He's doing a show on New Year's Eve.
He
in
got
Seattle.
canceled. Cancellation is effectively career death.
They're still selling his tickets. The cheapest tickets are like $250.
A lot of people paid over $1,000 to go see Tupac's hologram well after he died.
And
Yeah.
he was dead.
Well,
That's
this is-
true.
Yeah. Okay. I guess this
Thank
is a
you.
hologram.
I didn't say that. Allegedly, there was a hologram of Tupac.
Okay.
I met Tupac's hologram. The billionaire owns it. Or
He says
owned
he
it.
met it like it's a sentient being.
Yeah, it was cool.
Did it now, Billy? Does this hologram tell you to do things?
No. No, I just do them.
Okay.
Is it like a cool sci-fi hologram, or is it just projecting onto a mirror?
It was
the
the
fucking Tupac
Pepper's
thing?
ghost. Yeah, it was the Pepper's ghost thing. It was not even
Billy does a
real-
lot of projecting. You'll find.
What? Who, me? I'm a sweet boy.
Tony, that thing you did on your channel where you had all the women Ghostbusters, was that in reference to the women Ghostbusters movie?
Yeah, we were like, how are we gonna cover this movie? Because like we're not neckbeardy enough to bitch about it too much, because it's like a bad movie. It's a terrible movie.
Howard.
But it's like, what the fuck are we gonna say? Like, there's a million people who look like me already bitching about the movie. So we didn't know how to do it because like we wouldn't hate it enough. I mean, it does suck, but like I knew it was gonna suck. But we also didn't like it, so I'm like, fuck it, let's just have 4 women just take over the show. So it was our two main female co-hosts, and then we flew out Mint Salad, who was a beloved co-host, and we had a new girl in there, and they just took over the show for me. And then I show up. I don't think a lot of people got what I was doing at the end. I don't know if you made it that far in the video.
I didn't. I need to spell it out.
Well,
for me.
I show up at the end. You find out the whole episode is being pitched to me by some Hollywood douchebag as a reboot of my show. And I'm talking about how like the reboot doesn't make. I'm like, I don't know. The girls seem a little all over the place. They should have had more direction. And then I have an awful cameo in the middle of the episode. And I'm like, my cameo is a little distracting. It's just going to remind people of the old version of the show. and then
That's good. I like that.
It ends with him being like, all right, what if we do it again with kids? And I just walk off. That I'm still getting shit for not liking the new Ghostbusters movie.
I haven't seen it.
And
It doesn't look good. I haven't seen it.
Is
but
this
it
the
looks
all
bad.
male one they came out with?
No.
Yeah, it's an all-male
That was
reboot.
the
of
first two.
Ghostbusters.
It's little kid Ghostbusters.
Oh, you didn't like that
Yeah.
one?
No, it was garbage. It was the worst.
It looks
Did
really
you see
shitty.
it?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Remember how Paul Rudd was in it? He's not a little kid.
He wasn't a Ghostbuster in it.
Oh, true.
No, it's like there are so many fans that like 2016 Ghostbusters like broke them. And they're just gonna cling. It's like The Mandalorian. Like it sucks, but people are clinging to it because they.
But
hated
it's not
the other
like
thing.
the other one. I mean, come on.
Oh, you know
Yeah,
what
and
would have
it's like-
saved it? Baby Slimer.
Oh
Yeah.
no, they did Baby Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Yeah, I forgot
Multiple
about that.
Oh, that's right. They did.
Yeah, dude.
I
So
totally
in this
forgot.
version, so Egon was a deadbeat dad who abandoned his family, and his friends
Cool guy.
hated and ignored him when he started talking about the end of the world. When they really should be listening to him, because, but spoiler, they're fighting Gozer again because God forbid they try anything new. You think his friends would have been like, "Oh, Gozer's coming back. We should take this seriously." So then he just lives by himself in the fucking woods, or no, in a big field. And by the way, this is modern times. So you find out he finds this whole Gozer lair, and it's like, why did he never send anyone a picture to show that it was real? Like, what the fuck?
Did he
So he's
find
this
the lair?
Yeah, he's this deadbeat loser dad that stole all his friends' equipments. Everyone hates him. His daughter didn't even know him. By the way, he had a daughter, I guess, throughout the first two movies that he just didn't pay attention to. Yeah, and he sucks. And I'm like, this is like a bigger character assassination than fucking Luke Skywalker. But the same people who bitch about that movie are like, well, I love this movie because it's in the same continuity as Ghostbusters 2. And it's like, that terrible film, that's all you need to do is be in the same continuity as Ghostbusters 2.
But you know why they like this one and give it so much freedom?
No.
Because Paul Rudd plays the Rick Moranis in this.
But don't.
Paul Rudd
even-
is so handsome. Rick Moranis was never that handsome as Paul Rudd.
Well, that's the
That's
thing.
true.
We mentioned that in my review. I'm like, it's funny in the original because in no way would Rick Moranis land Sigourney Weaver unless they were both possessed by dog monsters. But in this new one, it's like, oh, it's the sexiest man alive and like pretty decent looking mom.
'Cause
Like
we had to have consent, right?
Yeah, I'm like, I can kind of believe these two. Oh my God, I didn't even think about that.
We had to have consent.
I didn't even think about that.
What would happen?
I'm guessing the new one doesn't have a ghost blowjob.
No. Oh, you know why? Because the last Wonder Woman movie, she kind of raped that dude, and people figured that out after the fact. They're like, "Oh fuck, we wrote a movie."
Yeah,
where
but
Wonder
it
Woman
was a
rapes
girl
guy."
doing it. It's fine.
It's fine when it's a girl.
Whatever. Grow up.
No, but the new Ghostbusters is garbage. But people are like, it respects the fans just because it's in the same continuity. It's like, yeah, but it's ruining this universe, idiots.
But it's bad.
It's really bad.
Did
It's
you not?
so-
Did you not fight back tears near the end there?
Oh, what? When they digitally recreated a dead guy who couldn't consent to his approval, like his image being used?
No, because I was
and like,
I was
dude,
sitting
and wait,
there.
it was. I get he's dead, but they finally find like Ghost Egon, and he's just everyone talks to him. He just nods. I'm like, oh yeah, Egon. He was known for just nodding quietly in those two.
Big
movies.
nodder, that Egon.
Big nodder, that guy.
I thought, like, I started crying when I saw that because I knew that Dan Aykroyd could make nothing. Was it Nothing But Trouble, or what was the one he was in with Tupac?
Oh, Nothing But Trouble.
Yeah,
He
if they
directed
could
that
make
one.
a remake
Great
of Nothing
movie.
But Trouble, and we could have Tupac's hologram come back, and that opened up my heart a little bit right there. I saw the possibility.
It was so funny. People were like, it was so emotional. I cried. I'm like, it's Ghostbusters. It's a comedy. It's supposed to be a comedy.
That's what the genre is.
People were like, you prefer 2016 more? And I'm like, well, no, I hate both of them. But 2016 was trying to be a comedy. It was a terrible comedy.
I laughed more at 2016, I think. Like
it's more fun to make fun of 2016. The other one, it's like, this is just a toy commercial for sad people.
Yeah.
Like literally all the new movie is literally just, hey guys, remember the first Ghostbusters? It's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, remember that scene in Ghostbusters? Like, yeah, I have the DVD. It's right
I do.
over there.
Yes, thank you.
Toys are kind of for sad people, though, right? Like
that was kind of like how the J.J. Abrams Star Wars was. Like, it was just a Yeah.
Well, with Star Wars, like Force Awakens, I didn't hate. I understood why they were so safe because they spent $4 billion on the franchise. So I understand playing it safe for the first outing. But yeah, it became clear that it's like, once they run out of remember this, they have nowhere to go, and they just fell on their
really
face.
don't.
They're gonna be real let down by the next Ghostbusters. Trust me. They're gonna be like, oh no, they ran out of their remember this. They have to come up with something new, and they had nothing.
Oh, we gotta do new shit.
Yeah.
Fuck. At least Ghostbusters had an important message, which is always listen to deadbeat dads.
Oh my God.
What if
It ruins Egon? And I like the character of Egon, and it's like, this is making him into such an asshole. But why are people praising this?
Who owns Ghostbusters?
Sony.
Sony? What else does Sony own right now other than Spider-Man?
They fucked up Spider-Man so bad they had to partner back with Disney to make a good one.
They're like, hey, do you want to fix Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Maybe Seth Rogen will be the bad guy.
They
time.
tried to bring back Men in Black, and they fucked that up apparently.
Oh, that's perfect. Men in Black versus the Ghostbusters.
There you go.
Let's go.
That would be kind of funny.
Let's go.
That's a move.
Do they own Scooby-Doo? Who owns Scooby-Doo?
That's Warner Brothers.
Damn it.
Looking up Sony. Oh, they have Bad Boys. And Resident Evil. They just rebooted Resident Evil, which I thought was fine and fun, but you don't have to rush out.
Ooh, I saw the trailer for Resident Evil. I'm like, this seems like a fake movie. This seems like a parody.
The American trailer was really bad.
It was horrendous.
The movie, so people got mad because we gave that like a kind of positive review, and it's like, well, yeah, we're comparing it to all the other Resident Evil movies. And I'm like,
maybe on the Resident Evil scale.
Yeah. And also, it's one of those things like, by the way, we weren't even super positive. We're like, yes, the new Resident Evil movie, if you didn't know what Resident Evil was, if you didn't know who these characters of the story was, you would walk out of that movie going, that was a mediocre zombie movie. And that's all Resident Evil had to be.
You got it.
That was it. Like people are like, you like this more than Ghostbusters? I'm like, yes, because all it had to be was a mediocre zombie movie. Not a heartwarming cry fest or whatever the fuck they were trying with the other one.
I did cry. Or I tried. I wanted to cry. I didn't cry. I felt like I was holding back tears. It was close though.
Okay, it looks like Sony has a couple. They have I think they have some of James Bond's film rights.
They only have the George Lazenby one.
They have Jumanji.
Jumanji was good.
I didn't see
the original.
I didn't see the new one, but they own that franchise, and that one's doing pretty well.
I think the first new one was better than the second new one, but the second new one had Danny DeVito, The Rock playing Danny DeVito, so that's good. That's good money right there.
That's good.
That's good money.
Well,
right
they're coming out with that Uncharted movie. I'm sure that's going to be another big franchise.
Oh yeah,
I played.
The Uncharted games suck, so I was not excited for the movie. And then I saw the trailer. I'm like, man, I feel bad for the fans of that terrible game because this movie looks pretty fucking bad.
Well, usually
I remain not excited.
Usually, movies based on video games, even good games, are bad anyway.
They're getting, you know
Someone
what?
hasn't seen Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Yeah, in recent years, it's funny. In recent years, I've seen a couple that are just mediocre, and that again. The Tomb Raider reboot. I'm like, you know what? If I didn't know what Tomb Raider was, I'd say this is a mediocre adventure movie. That's fine. They're not as garbage as they used to be, except for the new Mortal Kombat movie. That was straight up fucking garbage. That was one of the worst movies I saw last year. The Mortal Kombat 2021 movie.
Are they doing anything with Men in Black right now? Is it being worked with?
Well, they
that
just
reboot,
did not very long ago. They did Men in Black International. It was fucking horrible.
it flopped, and I think the director even came out and said it sucks. Hold
How
on.
much
I think
money?
the director killed himself.
Oh God, no, really? How much
No.
money would a Men in Black make if it was starring John Cena and LeBron James?
Boo!
$45.
No way. In China alone, they'd make people go out and watch that. Just what the fuck? I just
Drop
broke
your
my
keys.
phone.
Taipei. They're not making a dime in Taipei.
Wow.
Yes, the director of Men in Black International wanted to quit the movie multiple times during making it.
Nice.
That's the sign of a good movie.
Very nice.
That had Tessa Thompson in it, right? And Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, that was like the most cynical. Like they worked in that one movie, and it's like, well, yeah, I mean, sometimes you can carry over that chemistry, but not all the time.
Again.
I've been waiting for this Chris Hemsworth Hulk Hogan biopic to
Hulk
happen
Hogan?
for years.
Oh yeah, that still hasn't come around.
Yeah, it was it's supposed to be on Netflix, and I heard Hogan got hired in as a consultant. So in part of the movie, Hogan will be invited to play bass for Metallica. There's all these
his other crazy lies.
Yeah,
And Hemsworth is going to be like, no, I don't want to have my own grill.
Are they going to put in the part where he bangs Bubba the Love Sponge's wife?
No, it's supposed to be all early on.
I mean, it's a pretty important
Remember
part.
when Hulk Hogan said he turned down the George Foreman grill deal?
Yeah, that's another one of his lies.
Oh, that's right. Todd Phillips is directing it. The guy did Joker and the Hangover movies.
Oscar nominee Todd Phillips.
Terry Bollea's dick isn't the size of a Coke can. Hulk Hogan's dick is the
Hulk
size
Hogan's
of a Coke
is.
can.
Absolutely.
Hogan didn't have a
Actual
small peepee, did he?
Oh,
That's
speaking
what
of
he
which,
said in
No, Hulk
under
Hogan, huge
testimony.
dick. Terry
Oh.
Bollea.
Oh.
Speaking of which, we filmed this already, but the first episode of my show coming out next in January is Hulk Hogan's No Holds Barred, and I reviewed it with the Blue
Hell
Meanie,
Nice.
wrestling superstar,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Blue Meanie,
Is
who
he-
apparently is like really into that movie, and I was
That's
literally
hilarious.
like, hey, we have access to the Blue Meanie, we're just gonna do No Holds Barred. It's a wrestling movie, and then like he showed up, he's like, oh yeah, I know a lot about this movie.
Oh yeah,
And
a lot of wrestlers were fans as kids,
Yeah.
so he probably saw that movie when he was a kid.
Is he still with Jasmine St. Clair?
Oh, I have no
He
idea.
is not.
Damn.
His wife is
I don't
nice.
think
His
he
wife
is.
was there. She was really nice, but no,
Yeah.
it's not Jasmine St. Clair.
Okay. I just like to think that
They were together a while, though. It wasn't
Yeah, they
just
were
like a
together for a
fleeting thing.
minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He like pulled her out of a 500-man gangbang.
Respect.
That's awesome.
Well,
That's-
no comment on this guy who was nice enough to come on my show and who I want to come on my show again. I'm not
No,
going to comment on that.
I think he's awesome.
Was he wearing a half shirt?
Oh yeah.
No, he wasn't.
Damn it.
Sad.
He
Gotta see
still
that.
does, but he just didn't wear it in the
Hey, let me see that gunt, meanie. Is he thin as hell now, or did he gain some back?
I think he's back to fat.
Well, it's not like, I mean, it's fine. He's chubby. He's not like
Yeah,
fat.
I'm not judging. I'm saying this as a fellow fat.
Yeah,
he's judging if he got thin.
No, that would be lower to me if he was a thinny. And I'm not judging him for pulling Jasmine St. Clair out of a gangbang and making her a housewife. That's a boon.
That didn't
You've
happen.
done very well.
That didn't happen. That didn't happen.
Well, I mean, effectively, she was doing gangbangs before him.
Yeah,
Good. She had a record at one time, right?
Yeah, but I don't think he physically wandered into a shoot and pulled her out.
Oh yeah, that's not what I meant. That's what I meant was
You're making it sound
That's
that
kind
way.
of how it sounds.
Oh, I apologize. What I meant was he
Toots.
mentally pulled her out of a gangbang. He took a woman who was mentally gangbang
You
material.
know the thing that I said that was wrong earlier? Now I'm going to twist reality to
and
make
he
it actually
made-
right.
And he made her a happy, monogamous, adjacent woman. That's
Okay, so
great.
everyone, subscribe to Hack Movies and watch the only episode of the Blue Meanie is going to be in.
One and only appearance of the Blue Meanie.
Hope to God he never sees this fucking video. God damn it, Billy. you
I
asshole.
promise he won't, and if he does, I promise he'll be okay with it.
Didn't he do Blue Dust?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was talking to him about Blue Dust.
Yeah.
I love Blue Dust.
No, Blue Meanie's awesome. We love him. I'd hope he doesn't get offended from the fact that I'm reminiscing his awesome sexual prowess. Why am I the bad guy here? I'm putting him on a pedestal. Who's that girl?
I don't know.
Looks like she's smoking a cigar. I was like, is she licking her fingers clean?
She's basically being Marlena.
WWE the Blue Meanie with friend. Good caption.
With friend. She was probably a local girl who they just pulled up out of the crowd and were like, put this cigar in your mouth.
Probably pulled her out of a gangbang.
They're probably in Philadelphia.
That happens all the time, right?
I mean, it wasn't
totally common.
She had a record for gangbang. It's not some weird thing I'm making up.
It's weird that you find a way to include it in the conversation.
How is that weird?
It's not weird for you.
Congratulating
It's
him.
not weird for you.
It's weird. It's weird that I'm like, hey guys, I got this cool wrestling guy on my show. Everyone should watch it. And you're like, remember when his ex-wife was getting fucked by? I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
cool. Thanks, Billy. That's great.
See, when you put
Great
it that way,
to my episode, you asshole.
when you put it that way, I feel like I owe you and Blue Meanie an apology.
Oh.
But I'm gonna wait for the public to come to my doorstep with pitchforks.
Yeah, we'll let the internet
before
dictate.
before I give it away. But yeah, there's an apology on deck here. No, I'm sorry about
Which
that.
is the
Tony.
best you can ask for from Billy.
The Blue Meanie's very nice, and if he
I think
doesn't
so.
disavow me after this fucking shit
He
show,
won't.
we plan on doing more videos together.
You know he will.
He seems like a nice guy.
He's if he is a nice guy, he's not going to disavow you over this. Like, you have nothing to do with this. This is me. And if he does disavow you over this, let me know.
It was actually funny.
No,
Someone,
handle it.
Some company, I guess, that makes like AEW figures.
Yeah.
They like tweeted like, who should we make a figure of? And he like texted me at 2 a.m. He's like, hey buddy, can you like retweet this? I'm trying to get an AEW figure of me, even though he's only been on one episode of AEW Dynamite. And like I let him know like the next morning. I'm like, hey, I did. He's like, sorry for the 2 a.m. drunk text. I was like, actually getting drunk texted by the Blue Meanie was on my bucket list, so it works out.
Yeah.
It's like, oh wow, it really, really worked out there.
That's not bad. Did he get the figure?
I don't know. I don't think they picked it yet.
I don't know if he did.
Should we try and get him a U2's figure?
That'd be pretty good. I think he needs a bigger YouTube following.
I know.
first.
I feel like I'm in debt to him now for what I said.
He
earlier.
has a podcast. He has a podcast, I think.
Yeah, we owe
think
Blue
so.
Meanie a solid because you let me say that shit on our show.
Because I let you?
Yeah, you really.
say,
You shouldn't
say
let him
that
say
kind of
that.
shit all the
You
time.
really-
bad job.
Ben,
Check out the Mind of Meanie podcast.
Nice, the Mind of Meanie podcast.
Yes.
And for those of you that don't know, Blue Meanie is honored wrestler that I have enjoyed for many years. I played him
The
one
more
night.
you talk, the
When I
more
was
you risk saying something
When I
else
was play
dumb.
wrestling with Scott, I dressed up as the Red Meanie when I was play wrestling with Scott.
That's true.
I
Ben,
love
Ben,
him.
next time I agree to come on the show, remind me not to mention any guests
Right.
that
well,
I have
like,
on my
Tony,
show
who do you have
up.
coming up next?
And like,
Don't mention anyone
No,
you
no,
know.
no one's
period.
coming
when
up.
most
Come on,
people
Tony.
when most people say something weird, they stop talking. Billy just keeps talking forever.
Double
It just
down. It's
makes
all
it,
about the
like,
double down.
worse.
For one, when have I not said something weird? Okay, I'm
good point.
consistently
Just
saying
then.
something weird.
Just then.
Yeah, so I go back to weird. It's fine. This is modus operandi for young Bill Fridge.
On brand.
Yes, thank you. This is like the time me, John Cena, and fucking Dennis Rodman went to go visit Kim Jong-un.
Oh, you all went together?
Yeah, he had a buffet
didn't
set
see-
up
I-
for us.
I don't remember seeing any pictures or video of
Oh
that.
yeah, no, they
He was
got
holding the camera.
they got stuck in the DNZ. What was it? The
DMZ.
What do they call it? The TMZ.
The TMZ?
Yeah,
they-
I got stuck in the TMZ. You got it.
I
You nailed
tripped
it.
on the
First
TMZ,
try.
and they were like, "Oh, this fat fuck," and they locked me up. So I didn't really.
Someone got a picture of all of you guys and they sold it to TMZ and they're like, well, we want to post it, but we don't know who this fucking Billy guy is.
Yeah, they're like, "Who's this? Who's this human blemish?"
Billy's in a movie called The Lord of the Freaks, and in the first, and it's a documentary, by the way.
I'm in a lot of documentaries.
He in the first scene of it, he's in a sumo diaper wrestling another guy about the same size as him.
Lord of the Freaks from 2015.
Yes.
Yeah, and they
Director Andrew Tregelia.
Oh, Andrew.
He's no Jay Karras.
He's no Jay Karras. And then
Coolio's in this movie, and Fred Durst.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And Lenny Dykstra.
Andy Dick's in it too.
Yeah, the the night of the red carpet event, there was this girl I was hanging out with, and she was pretty drunk, and somebody had stolen her iPhone, and I was helping her look for it, and she starts yelling at this guy in a wheelchair, swearing the guy in the wheelchair stole her iPhone, and I'm looking like a total asshole, and I'm like, look, I go to the fat guy from Borat. He was there, and I go to his table. Like, can I look under your table for a phone? He's like freaking out. I'm like scaring all these D-list celebrities while this girl's yelling at a guy in a wheelchair because I'm trying to find the phone before she calls the police on a guy in a wheelchair. Finally, we get somebody else's phone. We have the iPhone unblock her iPhone, and it starts ringing in this friend of mine's pocket. This old guy.
He stole her phone.
He stole her fucking phone. I'm like, you son of a bitch.
Nice.
The guy in the wheelchair was a friend of mine too, though, so I felt bad for him because I knew he didn't do it. He was like, Billy, tell her I didn't do it. I was like, I'm trying, but she is drunk, and she seems to have a history with guys in wheelchairs, so there's a little bit of prejudice going on here. It was a very weird night. Very weird night.
So I think we're going to wrap it up in a couple minutes here, and then Billy and I are going to go do the post show for a little bit. If you guys want to check it out on Patreon, all the patrons $10 and above, you can come hang out with us for a little while behind a paywall.
And I'm currently writing a twit longer to the Blue Meanie. I feel
don't bring his attention.
I feel
why are you like this?
I know.
Draw attention to it.
It's-
Look. Hold on.
It says, "Dear Blue Meanie."
It's called a tweet, by the way.
Tony
not
from.
a twit.
I'm using a twit longer. I'm using twit longer because it's more than 140 characters.
Yeah, when you say more stuff, definitely better than when you say less.
I said, "Dear Blue Meanie, I've been talking to Tony from Hack the Movies about you."
Billy. After January 3rd, do whatever the fuck you want. But let's get the episode out first, you asshole.
January 3rd.
January 6th. What can we do on that day?
Oh my God! Stop
January 6th,
it.
I have another episode airing, but with no guests, so you're good.
Okay. Everybody, Tony
I have
says.
a prior engagement on the 6th.
Tony says January 6th. Meet him in Washington D.C. for stop the steel cage match. Blue Meanie wants to.
The 1 year anniversary of the.
It's stop the steel cage match from No Holds Barred. January 6th in Washington D.C. Zeus. What was the guy they had?
Tiny Lister?
No, the other one they had
Tiny
with him.
Lister?
They named him after the Holocaust. They called him the Final Solution. Remember that?
Oh,
The
no,
ultimate
that was in
solution.
WCW.
The ultimate solution in
Ultimate-
WCW.
Yeah, but he
That
came
was
out.
that's the guy who played Bane in Batman and Robin.
Yeah, Jeep Swenson.
Yeah, Tyler
Jeep
Maine.
Swenson, yeah.
Jeep
No,
Swenson.
you're
Tyler
right,
Maine was
yeah.
Sabretooth.
Sabretooth.
Yes.
I know.
Oh my gosh, Scott. Embarrassing Marvel wrestling knowledge skills here.
I
Classic-
have Tyler
classic
Maine's
Scott Gaff.
autograph over there. He signed my X-Men
Nice.
DVDs. I'm
Nice.
very cool. I'm a very cool guy. I don't know if you know that.
He should
Cool
feel
and famous.
And
Get out of
famous
here.
and important. I'm not rich and
God
famous
damn it.
yet. Patreon.com/hackmovies. I'm working on the rich and famous part, but right now I'm just famous and important. So
Excellent.
I have some merch you guys can buy.
buy it. Go ahead, get it now. We owe Tony a great
Plug it up.
debt for my comments earlier.
Yeah.
Because no wrestler will ever go on the show again.
Scott will be on your show. He's a wrestler.
Yeah,
I might.
The guy from the main event.
Yeah,
red
no,
singlet.
I want like real wrestlers, not guys from Netflix shows. All right.
Huh. Well, I'm also a professional wrestler, but that's
I
fine.
professionally wrestled once.
Hey.
It
I
was actually-
have
I won
500
that.
times.
He's a furry
Well,
wrestler.
you know what? I professionally wrestled once. I won, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go out on top. And I ended
Undefeated. Who am I trying to impress at this point?
When it
I
comes
like
to
your style.
professional wrestling, I am undefeated. So take that.
Pretty good. I am not undefeated.
However, I was like a actual wrestler in high school, and I only lost. So I had to go to choreographed like fake wrestling to actually win to make up
Yeah,
for
what
the
if-
crushing losses I had in high school.
That amateur
Yeah,
stuff
this
doesn't
is
count.
fun, but what if it was fake? Maybe I could
Yeah,
win.
what if it was fake and I staged how to make myself win?
I got to run through.
That'll make up for all those people beating the shit out of me and winning all the time.
I have to run through the Streamlabs and stuff before we sign off.
Sure.
Okay.
Mr. Mumbles said you're going to cover Skrelly tonight. We did. You're welcome. Faytan says Meowie Christmas. We're not all cats here, but so that must be addressed to you, Scott.
But the important ones are, so that's fine.
Yeah. Daniel says, Billy, you need to stop defending evil people like Skrelly and defend Onision, who is a literal saint. I tried. Hypothesis is so the trailer for the next Sonic game and movie came out today. Who wants to visit Chris Shannon prison to give the updates? It's not bad. I don't know the new movie trailer came out. I'm excited to see that.
I was talking about the first movie the other day. I'm like, yeah, I watched it. I don't remember a goddamn thing because it sucked.
I remember all of it because it was enjoyable.
Oh, really? I thought it was. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess that's Sonic in the real world. That's where I want to see Sonic.
Keep in mind, Tony, that Billy's a fucking idiot.
I thought it was great.
Wait. Oh, you should have given me a heads up. Fuck, now I feel bad.
I should have. I thought you could sort of put it together through context clues over the
halfway through the show tonight, Tony. I knew nobody had filled you in, and I was starting to feel real guilty for saying the things I was saying. But yeah, Jim Carrey was like going back to form for like early '90s Jim Carrey. I thought he was going to spread his
form.
I thought he was going to spread his ass cheeks apart.
Being weirdo, Jim Carrey stopped paying for him, so you had to go back to that shit.
I like paint.
I thought everybody thought Sonic was going to be terrible.
I wanted to see Sonic with the original Sonic design.
No, I want original Sonic. Show the original cut.
By the way, fuck Sonic fans. All they ever do is get excited for the new Sonic thing and then bitch about it.
Yes.
So they didn't deserve. No. Us Super Mario fans, we're still stuck with that weird ass '90s Blade Runner ripoff. They didn't deserve a good looking Sonic off the bat. They deserve the worst Sonic.
You got Chris Pratt coming up.
Yeah, they deserve the worst Sonic ever, and then maybe like 10, 15 years they can get a mediocre one. They did not deserve a good Sonic off the bat.
I agree.
And by the way, the movie, if it did have the same look, the original look, they all would hate that movie instead of pretending it's great. So anyway, sorry.
For sure.
We also got one from Vic Soul saying poot poot.
Poot poot.
Poot poot.
I saw one from V Infuso.
Interesting.
A super chat.
Why did that not come up?
It came up in the chat itself.
I don't see it here.
Didn't he used to be social injustice warrior? Why does that name sound familiar?
Yeah, that's him.
Does he still go by that name? I used to watch his stuff a long time ago.
I'm not sure if he still goes by that. I think he does. Maybe he changed his channel name, though. I think it said V Infuso. He basically quoted you, what you said earlier.
I don't remember saying anything of merit worth quoting.
You don't remember anything about gangbangs or...
He doesn't remember anything about the show. Billy goes into a fugue state, and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, this is how I survive 3 to 4 episodes a week.
Do you remember monopolization? Do you remember that word?
Nope. Not me.
No, that's like a lifetime ago.
That was some other fat guy.
Oh, okay.
I will say that I never actually watched Jasmine St. Clair's World's Biggest Gangbang Part 2. So I don't know. Maybe I was speaking out of turn earlier. So,
maybe you were.
I just know that she was credited for it. Blue Meanie is an awesome guy. I can't wait to see that episode. I'm excited for him to work more with you because
I am banning Drunken Peasants on YouTube so you cannot participate in that episode.
I tell you this. If Blue Meanie doesn't come back to work with you again, I will be surprised and I will make it my life's mission to mend the relationship I broke. I will.
Thank you.
My name is Earl List. Put him right up on there with all the other people I've wronged that I plan on fixing when I become a good guy.
When you become a good guy, okay.
Yeah, that could be
and
soon.
like Jason Lee, Billy is a Scientologist, so you can trust him.
Dude, I would love to be a Scientologist. That's like the best religion. It's the newest one.
It does seem cool.
So it's like it's not some old bullshit. It's
the smartest one.
Yeah, it's based on science. It's based on science. Thetans, I heard, are really good to get rid of, and I would like to blame everything on Thetans. Thetans, what's it called?
I'm OT level 7.
Damn. Plus, there's some real hot Scientologists out there. I think I could go.
Kirstie Alley, John Travolta. Need I say more?
I agree.
Were they Scientologists when they did Look Who's Talking?
They became Scientologists.
It made them Scientologists.
Look Who's Talking was a great film.
That was a fun film.
Have you seen Clifford recently? Not the big red dog, the one with Martin Short.
No, I haven't watched the Martin Short one in a long time.
Okay, yeah.
In my head, it's good.
Oh, I rewatched it with Joe, my roommate, and we were splitting our sides the entire time. My fucking face was sore.
I'm gonna rewatch that.
My face was sore from laughing. So good. So good. So I recommend Clifford to all people who haven't seen it recently.
I'd like to rewatch it.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it.
I will rewatch it.
Around the 90s, there was like these gigantic set pieces that were made out of like, I don't know, animatronics that were just huge. I think it was around the time that Jurassic Park came out. So like all the competing visual effects people were working to try and get that job maybe, and the ones that didn't get it worked on like Clifford and stuff.
Yeah. I have heard Clifford referred to as the thinking man's Jurassic Park.
Exactly, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how we all remember it.
Yep. Charles Grodin in a role of a lifetime.
Love Charles Grodin.
Ben, would you like to end this episode?
Rest in peace, Charles Grodin.
R.I.P.
Are you puffing on the rocks or
Would
what?
you like
man?
to wrap this up?
You're so energetic.
You know, I heard Destiny, the guy
You're
that we
so energetic.
The guy we watched earlier. I heard Destiny did meth once. And he
wrap the fucking show
he
up.
Liked it. He liked it.
All right.
I did meth today.
So tell them how to see the post show. We're gonna do the post show.
You guys want to see the post show? Everybody who is a $10 patron or above can come hang out with us immediately after this episode, where we're gonna watch some rare clips we could never watch on YouTube. 1 for copyright issues and 2 for perversions. Maybe not the perversions. I can't guarantee.
If that's not up your alley, sign up to my Patreon for $2, and I'll just post the link that they post there, so you can watch for cheaper.
That's fair.
I think that's technically piracy, and I might go to jail for it, but it'll be worth it.
Jail's fine.
I like your style.
And Scott, you don't have a Patreon, so people can just give you money directly, and you'll act out.
I know people can send me money fucking directly at paypal.me/notscotthansen. We're cutting out the middleman here, baby.
Yeah.
And
Everyone
go ahead and listen to.
Watch the main event on Netflix.
Watch the main event on Netflix
He gets
and
a penny
listen to
every
the
time.
worst. I get 0 pennies every time. And listen to the Worst Year of Our Lives podcast.
All right.
Thank you, Tony. A lot of fun having you on today. I do apologize if I ruined anything with your personal relationships.
I apologize for showing up late, super late. Sorry about that.
No,
I
it was
apologize for forgetting that I even had to do this, and I understand if you don't book me again. But
You're not getting out of it that easy, Tony.
This is how Billy punishes latecomers.
Let's just make sure Billy is like in the hospital or something when I come back, so I can actually talk about.
Oh, I'll make sure Billy's in the hospital. Don't you worry.
Yeah, I've done some pretty messed up stuff that's going to come out soon, so I'll be canceled for a few episodes. We'll get you back on those.
All right, I need to sleep now.
All right.
Yeah.
Good night,
Goodbye.
everybody.
Bye.
In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. From the strangest corners of the internet, gonna get TP'd by Billy and Ben. You know where you can find them at. Get ready, cause they're gonna kick your... Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants.